Welcome back to another episode of the Red Wagon Inn. Our players are adorning their comfort blankets for the night so that they can survive in the real life, even if their characters do not survive what is to come in this session today. Notice I don't have a comfort blanket because I'm pretty happy. I think things are going to be fine.
Monster.
I think it's going to be fine. I'm not really worried about it, but I'm glad that you all are. I'm glad. Somebody has to be, right? Because it's going to work out for me. So I think it's going to be good. Right. Tonight we are joined yet again by the amazing Jakey Boy Arts as our guest boyo. As our guest. I was going to say boy, but it's Jakey Boy Arts. It felt weird. Our Jakey Boyo is joining us again down below me. So thank you for joining us, Jakey Boy.
Thanks for having me once again to watch me have a death on screen. This is hype.
Look, I needed to pad the numbers so that our TPK could actually be more people than the amount of players we have. That hadn't been done before, and so I just thought I'd try it.
No one has ever done this.
No one has done this. It will just be me.
What was it yesterday, Ryan? Ya boy, ya boy, ya boy, ya boy,
Ya
ya
boy,
boy.
ya boy. Everybody who comes in and says ya boy every time Jakey does anything. Ya boy, ya boy, ya boy. Awesome. We have a fantastic set planned, and we will get right into it in just a moment. I have a few things I want to be able to share, which is, first off, we've got some art we want to show. We've got 3 dice things to give away tonight, not just 2. We're stepping it up. We got 3 this time. So, one of them's a secret one, which I think I have a tweet set to go out at like 8 o'clock so that you can find out what it is. So super secret on that one. So 3 different dice things coming out tonight. I'm going to show some art, and then we'll jump right into it. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
Great.
I mean, especially because Bree looks like Princess Leia right now.
She kind of does, yeah. If you hide the hair down there, it just looks
Guys, it's
curly
too
up there.
hot in Sydney right now. I don't know how Bree's doing it.
95
She's pregnant. She has the pregnancy powers.
Pregnancy powers
I'm
have
in
always
Canada.
stayed
I'm
cold.
so cold right now. I
Pregnancy
need to
powers,
like a piece of
activate.
it from me.
Everyone knows that having a baby inside of you makes you colder.
Far colder.
Yeah.
Far colder.
You heard
Awesome.
it here first, folks.
I do know this.
It's fantasy world. Things happen.
Let's see who the last one standing is.
Right. From our amazing Safi Chan, we have some, as she is our official artist, we have some awesome art I want to be able to show off. So first off, we have Salt floating down Mary Poppins style, y'all, as currently Salt and Summer are doing okay, as Summer took a big breath and is hiding inside the hat, which is a bag of holding, and floating down with his mage hand tail that he is using. So he's Mary Poppins, y'all. I think he looks
Fucking
great.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
I'll give you a point of inspiration if you go ahead and turn yourself blue so that you can actually look like Yondu. And people are saying, I know I did put 3 pictures in the Discord. If you follow my Discord, you got the secret early. Ooh. Also,
I do believe Bree can cast a minor illusion on me and make me blue.
make it happen. Also, we actually have
Yes.
art of our guest person for Halloween, since we had all the other people for Halloween art. We got Herc in a little chicken outfit, because what bird doesn't also be a bird for Halloween?
The cutest.
Which, to be fair, I mean, I'm a human, and I mostly went as humans for Halloween, so I guess it's not that odd. Yeah. Our third one,
When he wears it.
yeah, our third one
Oh,
is my favorite one, though. I gotta say, Robert out searching for his brother in the desert, in the sands, alone right now, while the team is currently up in the northern part of Asterion, looking for all of his. Helping defeat the Roc and possibly die, but as he's looking for his brother out in the sands.
Can you zoom in on his face? I asked Safi if she can make it extra sad.
It is extra sad. I don't know if I can zoom on it, honestly. Oh, God, yes, I can, apparently. Oh, it is extra sad. Why'd you do this to everybody, Drew?
Oh,
Because I want everyone to feel the pain I feel inside.
We have some pieces of art that were actually fan-submitted into the Discord as well. We actually have Atta, Team's pet, made by Agent Lady Hawkeye, out of clay, I assume. It looks so cute. It's like taking a little nap on your leg. I love it.
I just want to pair him.
Right? He's just so good. We have a piece of art made by Bobotoge,
Love him.
which is Robert not in the sands, but more at the beach sands, as he has his resting beach face t-shirt on, which is awesome.
He took a break before he went out into the sand dunes.
As you
took
do.
a day to himself.
You got to do that. You got to take a break.
He
every
blew
now
that
and
wad
again.
of cash and then decided to go find for his dad, brother.
Yeah. And then this one, I don't know if this one was intended to be art, but I just thought it was really cool. Somebody made, I think it was a cheesecake that was supposed to be the beach scene, which is just awesome. And that's one of my favorite ones so far because it's the most delicious looking of all the arts.
Certainly is.
And then
they are for Inktober, which you can find in the Red Wagon in Discord if you go there now and do fun things with us there in the Discord.
Drew got it covered already. We're planning on, as people are saying, yes, they are okay with things, posting them onto the Red Wagon in Instagram and Twitter, which will be far more active soon as Drew and Jackie are going to rock that. And so Jakey may be doing some helpful stuff on that whenever he does doodles and stuff every now and again, too. So that would be fun.
Yes.
As for the dice that we're going to be giving away tonight, the first set is actually from a viewer who made me a set of dice, which I posted on Instagram that I'm going to be using tonight, which is Golden Explosion, because they know me very well and I like gold. But they made the Creeping Flame set here. That's Aurora Anima or Dawn Spirit dice, and it's a Petri dish style set, and it looks so dang good. I absolutely love it. And I already test rolled my Golden Explosion one tonight, and I got a nat 20, so I am ready to rock for tonight.
No.
Give me those
Aurora.
dice.
Why?
Give them. And then our last one, which I'll keep the other one a bit of a secret until after the first half. But the last one for tonight will be the ones from my recent review video from Dark Matter, or the Dark Matter set from Dicebound. They are really cool. They just finished up their Kickstarter recently. It was very successful, so I'm very happy for them. And it's just a great looking set of dice. So those will be the final ones for tonight. So thank you, Dicebound, for helping give away a set of dice. Beautiful. Anybody
And the
have...
secret one is somewhere in between it.
Yeah, the
Okay.
secret one's going to be right in between those two. We will have that one after the break. I'll secretly put it up there, and in the chat, people can secretly join that one, and you'll see what it is afterwards. So, exciting,
Great.
exciting news.
I also would like to say I got my set from Liz, Aurora Anima, and they're Xenia themed, and they're just so cute. Oh, look at the focus.
Oh, dude, yours is like a red version, where mine's the gold. Oh, look at that.
I didn't check my mailbox today.
Haha,
Ah.
sucks to suck. Right,
Sorry, I'll
also...
just take a longer break than normal.
Last bit of art, I guess, is also a thing. Bree is looking mighty Ithka the Emerald Plague today, and so just wonderful. Great job on the makeup today.
That's for my babies.
It's for the babies. Right. Last thing, make sure we're still playing for the wildfire relief for everything that's happening on the western side of the U.S. And all of the baby showers gone wrong, baby gender reveals, not baby showers, gender reveals gone wrong. So make sure if you have the ability to and can donate to that. We've done a lot of stuff with that in the past, and we're continuing to do that today. So with that, does anybody else have anything they want to add before we get started and I have us do a recap roll?
Ryan, have I told you how much you're just a beautiful man and such a kind person? And wow.
Drew,
Wow.
you're so right, man. Thank you.
I don't know why Drew's saying that. Don't kill us is all I want to say, really. That's just I don't know why Drew's hitting on you suddenly, but I was just like, I don't want to die.
Drew knows what works. I mean, hey.
Dang.
Right.
The sheen of your head today is perfect.
I
I don't like the sight of you, Drew. It's disgusting.
If you do kill us, I can't promise that I won't send tiny cute baby photos to your wife.
then I will be the next one with the baby on the stream.
And like tiny little socks.
Look,
they're so cute.
It's Alex's fault. He has too cute a baby to show on stream. Everybody's going to come back in 9 months and we all have children, one way or another.
Red Wagon.
That just could be taken so much out of context. It's Alex's fault. We've all got children.
It is. I don't know how it happened to me, but Alex, good Lord.
It was Alex. It was all Alex.
It was all Alex.
One last thing before we start, Ryan. It looks like Dapper Dan, the push-up man, is here with us today.
Dapper Dan, the push-up man. Oh, thank you for joining us, Dapper Dan. Excited to have you here. That was from Loreforge. So excited to have him here. Right. Jakey, you don't get an out on this one, as you were here last week. Everybody, let's roll some D20s to see who's got to do the recap.
Ooh.
Okay.
7. I don't know what that means.
Oh wait,
Rolling my
we're rolling. We're doing
around.
things.
If you roll low, you are forced to do the recap and try and recap everything that happened in the last episode. If you do good, you get a point of inspiration. If you do bad, you get a GFY, which is a go fuck yourself point, which is the opposite of inspiration, and I can use it at any time to tell you no, you actually have to re-roll that in a bad way instead of a good way. So, now everybody knows what a GFY is again, and I only have one since we used so many last time. I'm excited. That's the smallest amount I've almost ever had.
Can you believe Salt has 0?
Can you believe it?
That won't last long.
We'll fix that. Don't worry about it. Right. So,
You're also getting
what are the numbers?
Demented Bobo's coupon.
Bobo's got a coupon. Sorry, I completely didn't realize that it was still going on. I forgot it goes all the way up to the 16th. So, yes, if you have not figured it out yet, Bobo also has a coupon. Bobo is one of our awesome viewers who on their site, which I'll either have them put it in or I can pull it up right now as everybody's telling me their numbers, which is what I will do. If you do the Red Wagon win code instead of Red Wagon in, you get some percentages off on their website because they really like the Red Wagon in and they're nice people. So I will put that in the chat right now. There we go.
I just had the craziest Salt idea. Why don't we get chat to give us the recap?
Oh, no, it would take way too long. We can't do it. I would love to, but we can't do it.
It'd be utter chaos.
Some
It'd be
of Salt's
amazing.
ideas have to be reined in.
Right. Summer, what was your number?
19.
Salt.
14.
Team.
8.
Xenia.
19 for my Aurora Anima dice.
Ooh, I had a 2. 2 from my Aurora Anima dice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Looks like Jake doesn't have to.
Didn't I have to do it last week, too? This feels like Aurora sent me some
maybe
dice.
this is a silly rule.
Right. A quick recap from what happened last time. The group is in a town called Novigrad. It is in the northeastern part of Asterion, my homebrew world. Glad to have them there as they are currently basically running away from somebody who is trying to chase them down and kill them for stealing a powerful artifact. While they were there, they're looking for a menagerie owner named Mabel to help try and take care of the dragon eggs that they found. And when they went there, they found a Arakakra, who kind of looks like a giant emperor penguin, named Hercules, who was also looking for Mabel, who happened to be out that day, said the sign. However, once somebody else came by, told them, no, they've actually been gone for a week. It's strange for them to be gone that long. So they said, well, maybe we should figure out what's going on and if we need to go look for her. So they went and snuck their way inside to the totally unlocked door that Salt did not lockpick. When they went inside, a bunch of animals were out of their cages as their keeper had been gone for a week, and they had found their way out with this little lemur thing with a key that let them all out. Chasing them was Gorf, who is a type of cat Cheshire Garfield combo creature that is an anxiety cat that can communicate telepathically by touching you. And Hercules helped round up all the animals so that Gorf's anxiety would chill out for just a little bit as Gorf was running around everywhere. They got Gorf calmed down. They put everything back. Gorf said he needs Mabel here to help take care of all these animals, as Hercules is miming everything out, by the way. As Hercules got everything back in the thing, Hercules found a piece of map where it looks like Mabel was going to be, so they decided to go there. Summer found a book that said taking care of your Gorf and found Gorf food in the corner, which was a 50-pound bag of catnip, which was Xenia having to control herself as she is also a Leonin, trying to avoid getting super high in the corner. But Gorf goes over there and rolls in 50 pounds of catnip as Summer lets all of it out instead of a teaspoon, as she didn't read that page in the book just yet. Gorf gets super high as Hercules runs out, and like a jet plane, as he can move like 960 feet in a round with everything going right, takes Salt off, going towards the mountain where Mabel was hiding, more trapped, as she was trying to calm a roc, which is essentially a dragon-sized eagle, down on the mountain, as it seemed to have been ill. As she was trying to, keep it calm, they found her in its nest on the peak of the mountain. Roc. God dang it, Shaky. As Hercules goes over there with Salt, and they're like, what are you saying? I can't hear you. And she's like, it's coming, run, don't hurt it. But they bolt off as the Roc picks up Mabel, flies over, tries to attack Hercules and Salt as they run into the forest. They get back to their friends. Their friends are like, we should definitely hide, as the god of chatter tells Summer that something bad is coming. But nothing is done in quick enough time as the rock picks up the rest of the party. Hercules and Salt fly after the giant rock and fight it in the middle of the air. Salt stabbing it in the back, Hercules punching it right in its big old beak. Team in the claws and clutches of the rock with Mabel. It was like, no. Mabel's saying not to hurt it, and if I fall from this height, I will definitely die, as his undead character takes double damage from bludgeoning damage. But Summer and Xenia are not having it. They're trying their best to destroy this thing, and hey, what do you know? You all took the rock down. It is currently dying, falling out of the sky, with all of you, save Salt and Summer, on top of the rock or in its clutches. Salt and Summer are currently Mary Poppinsing their way down with a essential mage hand from Salt as Summer has jumped into a bag of holding her breath. Xenia is on the back of the rock. Team is in its clutches with Mabel. Hercules is currently in its beak. That's where we left off. Did I cover everything? Also, they met a guy named Dallas who they hated for no real reason, as he was very helpful.
Yeah, but he was also kind of just like that guy.
Is he? Oh, here, let me tell you where your quest goes.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, what a tool.
That kind of guy.
It was fun.
I thought he was nice. But, obviously, I am very, very wrong. So, with that, sound good enough? Do I get a point, or do I get a GF1?
I think Jakey gets it.
Yeah, I think
Shaky gets a point for miming it out. If he's
He
getting
maybe
one,
stole
I'm
the
taking one.
he stole the point off you.
He stole it off me. Fair enough.
There
I
can only
I
be
deal
one
with that.
inspo point, right?
There can only be one. I like it. All right. Well, then I'm happy to give it over to Jakey, because you all, I would say, are going to need it, is the best way to put things. So, with that, let's continue on where we left off. If nobody has anything, fantastic.
I could summarize your notes just a little bit easier from Team's point of view.
Oh, yeah? Wonderful. Well,
blankets before, right? They were our summaries.
the comfort blanket. That's the summary. Could have just left it at that. Everybody gets the gist. Hercules, you can take a point of inspo. I'm taking one too. If Hercules gets one, I'm getting one, because I want to. I really want to bury you guys tonight. So, with that, everybody pull up a chair, grab a drink, and let's hang out at the Red Wagon Inn. As we continue, you all are in the sky. You are currently 240 feet up in the air. Salt and Summer are actually 480 feet up in the air, as the bird recently was taking a dive bomb down, but Salt and Summer are doing the Mary Poppins thing down. So as far as distance, they're basically out of being able to help Xenia, Team, Mabel, and Hercules. Also, did the math. 240 feet, the average person can fall that distance in 4 seconds. You all have one round to figure out what you're doing and do it in a gut, instinctual manner before you hit the ground. Currently, it's a nice breezy day outside. There's hardly a cloud in the sky, save for the ones that Xenia summoned over the body of the rock, which are slowly floating away as you are all plummeting into the ground. Mabel and Team stuck in the clutches of this rock, which have loosened themselves. There is enough room for you to maneuver and get out of them as you desire. What are you doing? What is your immediate reaction? You are falling out of the sky.
I'm holding on to Mabel.
Xenia?
She would probably cast gust of wind to try to loosen the hurt as much as possible.
Okay.
It lasts for a minute, so it kind of.
Yeah, it's just like.
It's
That's
okay.
pretty cool.
You gonna do it on yourself under the rock? Where are you doing it? It is a 5-foot area.
In between me and the rock.
Okay, in between you and the rock to try and kind of
Distance
levitate yourself
myself.
up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Hercules, what are you doing as you are currently in the beak of the bird as it slowly opens its mouth, dying in air to let you out?
I'm gonna try and fly out of it. I want to take how big is the wingspan of this rock? Because I know how fast I can fly.
Well, let me pull everybody back over to the other screen to where we can see the battle map that we were on last week. Whoosh, back over here. So let's count. These are all 5 foot, so that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120 foot wingspan.
I would like, and man, I might need 2 rounds to try this, but I'm gonna try it so I don't die. Herc's going to take his grappling hook and try and slam it into one wing and fly to the other side with the rope. And I'm going to use all of my rope in my bag to try and make like a makeshift glider so that Herc can hold the wings together, which will probably break both of his arms, but he's going to try and make this massive thing glide.
You're going to try and just make sure I know what you're doing, because I'm into it. A rule of cool. I'm always into it.
Tom Holland Spider-Man.
You grapple hook onto one side, fly over to the other, and pull it and cinch it up to try and keep the wings level so that you can glider it down instead of nosedive it down, correct?
As much as I absolutely can, yes.
Okay, so you got 4 seconds to do this.
Trying to pull open roll 20. Oh no. Big button, it's kicking out.
No worries.
Okay, I know the 120 feet.
In 4 seconds, I need you to roll a sleight of hand to try and get a grappling hook out of your pack into one side, and then if that works, we'll go from there. Roll your sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand is... Oh, I am proficient. That's a 21. 15
21.
plus 6.
Solid. Somebody asks, is the bird not actively flying? No, it is dead. It is falling out of the sky.
It's a hundo dead.
It is a hundo dead. Yes, you run over with the grappling hook. You twirl it. You actually throw it downwards, and the wind picks it back up on the other side as you cinch it onto the other one. Xenia, you run to the back of the bird and begin casting levitation magic. Mabel is freaking out as she reaches into her pouch, trying to grab something of what you're not sure. Team, you just grab onto her back as best you can, trying to hold on to her.
Oh, actually, hold on. The one thing I am gonna do, as I'm also holding Mabel, I'm getting Otta out of my chest.
Okay.
Giving a kiss on the head and throwing him out of the talons.
As Atta, not really sure what's going on, as he's been clutched in the talons, unable to see past your cloak, you grab onto her. As you pull Atta out, he goes, hey, what's going on? As you throw him, as he begins flying, and the wind catches him. As this is happening, Hercules, you're taking the rope over to the other side of the wing. I need you to roll another sleight of hand to try and get it around the wing quickly.
I'm using inspiration. That's a natural 1.
Okay. You do have a GFY, but I'm not going to use it.
Oh, thank you. I would use my second inspiration, though, because I still have one from the big drill thing, unless you only do one inspiration.
We do cap it at 1.
Okay, well, then I only have the 1.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, I have, that is a 9, so that's a 15 total for this one.
15.
9 plus 6.
Okay, as you try and pull onto the side of this rock, trying to pull its wing up and over, you try and get the rope over to the other side, but in doing so, you actually cause the rock to kind of twist and almost begin doing like a barrel roll as it begins flying upside down, going downwards, upside down into the ground. You were going to be unable to get this rope to the other side of the wing. If you want, you can try and pull very, very hard on the other wing and see what happens.
If that's my option, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not letting everybody die.
Okay, Herc.
I'm going to try and parasail this big boy.
Herc, you stand on the back of the rock trying to pull its wing as one is kind of curled in on itself. The other one is pulled up. So you're basically one winging it as this thing begins a downward spiral. Xenia, you're holding wind, blowing it up underneath you, trying your best to levitate yourself as Mabel's no, begins trying her best to grab something in her pouch. Drew, you let Atta go. Salt, Summer, you are currently floating down slowly. You would be about 300 feet above them at this time. Is there anything Salt can do as Summer, you are inside the hat?
At the moment, we can go down 30 foot a turn with the hand. So we just got 16 turns to go down.
Sounds good.
96 seconds.
All right. Salt, you are Mary Poppinsing your way down. Man. Herc, you are able to ride the back of this thing, pulling its wing up, slowing its descent barely, but with the spiral, you're not sure which side is going to land on the bottom. But because you did this, you do get to flip a coin to see if the back of the bird with you on it is hitting the bottom, or if the talons with Tehm and Mabel is hitting the bottom. Roll me a d6 and tell me if it's a 1, 2, 3 or a 4, 5, or 6.
Oh, God.
No pressure, no pressure.
At least Chat's not deciding this one.
I rolled a 2.
2.
So I don't know what you decided, but I rolled a 2.
Okay. Sounds good. Right.
Talons down.
As
Would Xenia have been able to like redirect her gust of wind, or is that too short of a time? If she saw that Herc was trying to do it a certain way.
do you have a point of inspo?
I do.
You could use that to do that.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
You're going to do it on the other wing to try and lift the other one up, or are you trying to get it on one
Balance.
specific side?
To look whichever way. If it's barrel rolling, she'll probably do it the opposite side so it balances out.
Okay.
Or-
Sounds good.
But Team's underneath.
I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
Honestly, though, she would probably think that Herc is okay to fly, so she would probably have to land on its back.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. Sorry,
Herc's
Herc, I
like,
don't know
wait,
if
what?
This is an amazing plan. We got this. Don't worry. Teamwork makes the meme work.
Herc, you pull it. Xenia, seeing yourself able to float there, you see what you can only imagine to have been a tear in Team's eye, as you know he just got this newfound lease on desiring to live. And him holding Mabel there, a stranger holding on for dear life, is too much for you. Instead of trying to right the wing under the right side to hold itself up, you gust of wind underneath where Herc is pulling to make it go faster. Instead of landing on Team, it flies further into a barrel roll, landing and crushing Herc and Xenia, leaving Team and Mabel on top. As Herc, you take the very first brunt of the rock falling on top of you out of the sky. Xenia, you do the same thing as you are both on the back of the rock as it slams you two 240 feet down into the ground. It does like a rock skip, as it bounces off of the ground. Its leg falls out. Mabel reaches and pulls something from her pouch before it's too late. It's too quick. As Team and Mabel also, their arm of this bird falling and being crushed by the weight of this rock slams into the ground. Salt, you see the trees get toppled over by this thing falling out of the sky. You can feel the shockwave of almost like an incredibly heavy piece of ordnance hitting the ground, even while you're up in the air. It kind of knocks you a bit off, and you almost lose grip on your mage's hand. Herc and Xenia, you are going to take the full brunt of the damage. Team and Mabel are going to take half. But
So
Team,
full damage.
Full damage for you as well.
Can I do one action, like one small thing before like we hit the ground?
Possibly.
I would like to, like, the second I say we're going to hit, I want to tackle Xenia, and I want to use my monk passive to reduce fall damage. I'm going to reduce her fall damage by 35.
All right. I'll let chat decide on that one. If they want to try and reduce Xenia and his fall damage. If you think that that is fair, or if you think
Specifically
that...
Xenia's.
Oh,
because I can only do
Xenia's
it to one
specifically.
person.
Okay, for Xenia
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Or...
I was gonna say, what do you think Chad's gonna say? Of course they're gonna say yes.
Obviously, they're going to say yes. However, I have described what's happened so far, so I'll let them decide if we want that to be able to happen. Seeing yes, 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 yes. Very few
At least
no's.
one no.
Okay, I will give it to them on that one. We'll see how big of a difference it does make. So,
Oh no,
right.
Xenia, why?
As we described before, it is a d6 for every 10 feet that you fall. You all fell from 240 feet where that rock fell. Team, that would have been reduced by half, but it's full damage for you because you take double bludgeoning. Xenia, as you're pushing this wind up, you see Herc jump off the back of the rock and land to where he is underneath you. You are still going to hit Herc and the hollow bones of a birdman beneath you, but you're not hitting direct hard rock of the foot of the mountain here as the rock actually lands and falls on you. So, I'm going to roll 24d6, and we will go from there. Give me just a moment.
Well, while you're doing that,
Yeah.
isn't it awesome that the D6s that you're using are so cool, and they're gemstone D6s that you can find on Level Up Dice, and they support artists. Wow.
Wow. Whoa. Tell me more about that deal, Drew.
Yeah, which artists are they? Which artists are they supporting?
Can you
well,
remember all
Anyone,
11?
anyone,
I'll
does
tell
anyone
you.
know? Anyone
Yeah,
know?
there's 11 artists that it supports. Oh, whoa. Happen to have them here. All right. Well.
Wait, hold on. Do they look like this? Do they look like this?
Whoa, yeah, they look exactly like that.
That's crazy. I think I have the same exact set here too. What?
What?
Oh, guys, it's crazy. I
Wow.
don't.
Oh, hey,
Here,
Brian.
we can
Yeah.
even get some
Brian.
ASMR.
The rules state for a maximum of 20 d6.
Does it
For
say that
falling.
for falling?
Mm.
Max of 20d6.
FB Joey for the win. We got you, Joey.
All right, I'll take off 4d6 worth of that total then. Happy to do that.
Ones.
Yeah, I know.
You want me to roll ones to take off only ones on the damage?
Got the six.
I was gonna say, can we use a GFY so you can remove a 6 or something? We have one GFY left.
I do have one GFY left.
Yeah, just re-roll everything, but make sure they're all ones.
Okay, so here's what happened. Herc,
Made artist dice month.
you
Give it to me
land
straight, Doc.
underneath Xenia, taking the full brunt of Xenia's weight, the Rocs' weight, as it bounces off the ground, leaving you and Xenia stuck in the spot where it first bounces, before it lands on its other side and scrapes across the ground, dragging Team and Mabel the rest of the way. Your sacrifice is able to reduce some of the damage that Xenia would take. 35 is the total in which you can reduce it by, correct?
I will double check because it could be lower or higher, but I'm almost positive it is that. But I will.
Absolutely. Need to know. I got to drink
Yeah,
30
exactly
minutes in.
35.
35. Okay. That means, Xenia, you take 31 points of damage total. As
Okay.
Xenia slams into the ground. Xenia, what is your total maximum hit points?
33.
33. Okay. We'll pause there on that. Herc, you take 66 points of bludgeoning damage as you slam into the ground. What is your maximum amount of hit points?
56.
Okay.
But I have 6 hit points left because I just got revived.
Okay. Team, you take 66 points of bludgeoning damage. Mabel will take 33. Team, what is your maximum amount of hit points?
57.
57. Okay. I hate to be the one to do it. So, you all have taken over your maximum points of hit points in damage in one blow.
But not
So-
double, but not double.
What's up? Not double. No, you're not instant dead. No. But if you take over your max, you're immediately going to do a death save. Immediately.
Even me, I'm at 33. Maybe
33.
31?
Your max was what?
33, and then was 31.
Oh, no. You're not. I thought I heard the opposite for you. My bad.
Yeah.
So you're good. You're good. You will take normal death saving throws. Team and Herc, however, are going to take an immediate death saving throw at disadvantage for the first hit.
That's a natural 1.
It's a natural 1.
That's 2 death saves for Team and for Herc. Xenia, you fall unconscious. Mabel also falls unconscious. Salt and Summer, you're floating down from the ground. This is literally death saves until something happens, as there is no way anybody can get there to help you. So, now we're all going to take them again. You do not
Ryan,
have
before you do-
disadvantage. Yeah.
Is there any way from however high up I am that I realize that my party is dying?
Roll a perception.
I can't do perception.
A giant bird just crashed into the ground, right?
With them on
Yeah,
it.
my perception is 4.
They are dots to you, as you are currently 450 feet up in the air, as you've gone 30
No,
feet down in
less.
this round.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So, that's,
Can I throw luck at them?
we'll see. Right. If you have points of inspiration, you can use them, and I highly recommend it. But Xenia, Team, Hercules. I need another death saving throw.
Level up dice. Malachite set. It's a beautiful set.
I got you, Drew.
It's a 2.
We
Team
have
is
not asked you
dead.
to do this.
It's literally a 9 by 1. It was a
Hey,
9.
Jakey, we're both dead.
If I may, can I have one last thing that Herc said while he tackled Xenia?
Absolutely.
You're gonna make us cry.
While Herc is like diving tackles Xenia, he says, "Blizzard is just another type of storm. We got to look out for each other." As he hits the ground.
Herc says, "We have to look out for each other," as you hear his bones shatter into the ground beneath you, Xenia. What was the number that you rolled?
19.
19. So that's one save. Good for Xenia. Team,
I actually need to send you what I said. It was to Ada, but it was mine linked. So I will send that to you.
okay. If you don't want people to know, you can definitely send it to me.
I can't. Nobody would have heard it because it was in the mind.
Good. Jackie, as you lay there, I need you to make another death save throw.
Okay.
We'll come back to the other stuff in but a moment.
Okay, different dice, different dice. That's off the tray. Do it again. Okay, I'm not lying. That's another 19. I can
Another
really-
19 for Jackie. I need one more from you.
Different dice, different dice. That's a 10.
It's 10. I count 10s. That's good. Count the 10. Right. So, team, you see the vision before you fade. You have no eyes in which you can use them to see, but you feel your lids of magic shut. You begin to hear Atta cry out to you in your telepathic link. Team, team, before it's too far away to be heard anymore. Like someone yelling at the other end of a football field that you can't quite understand. You hear a friend calling you home. Before a bright light hits your face, you have to cover your eyes. You look down and you see your body, your flesh, your scales, your bronze-colored dragonborn body beneath you as you look up to the sky, blocking what is now the sun from your eyes. As you look around, you see sand beneath your feet, an oasis of grass and blue water in the shadow of a great stone pyramid, where at the top you see your old king, Qatar, with his spear aimed at the sun. Herc, you feel cold. For the first time in your life, you truly feel cold. You feel what people are describing to you as a chill up your spine. You see Xenia laying there, blood coming out of her nose before she regains consciousness. A brief smile. Chat, I am seeing what you were saying. A brief smile comes over your beak before you've did what you wanted to do. You saved a life for your own. You feel the cold take over your body before you find yourself back in a tomb of ice in the snowy north of Okanada. Looking to your left, you see the empty mark of the tomb, where you know you weren't there alone. But you see the hole where whoever was with you is still not filled, before your vision fades away from view. Xenia, you look over to see Herc lying there on the ground. You go and check his pulse, you check his stomach. No breaths coming in, no breaths going out of the birdman that you met.
Is Herc the only one I see?
In the distance, where felled trees mark the landscape towards the mountain. You see the rock curled up in a ball where its crumpled body landed hard into the ground. You do not see Tehm around you. You do not see Mabel around you.
I will immediately cast Cure. She would try to cast Cure Wounds on Herc.
You reach over, and red magic begins to pour out from your body. As it goes through your paws into Herc, the magic never leaves your paw. It tries its best to enter Herc's body, but it just can't. There's nothing there to cling on to before the warmth of your magic radiates back up your arms. It seems a fruitless endeavor.
She'll probably start to well up a little bit, remembering what he last said to her. She's never dealt with something like this before, so she's going to try it again. And I'm assuming the same thing happens. She's going to remember who was with her on the rock, and so she's going to run around and try to find Tehm and Mabel.
Xenia, tears begin to pour out as you try and pour magic into Herc before realizing it's not working, but it might not be over. It might not be the last thing that you can do. Before you run to the rock, limping over. Salt, you're still going down. You're maybe about 200 feet up at this point. At this point, you can see someone is moving towards the rock. Someone is still alive. As Xenia, you limp over about 100 feet away or so where this crater has been made into this rock hole into the ground. You see next to the talon in the ground, Mabel laying there in the dirt, curled up, her arm broken and bent behind her. No breath coming out of her. And you see the scattered bones across the field of your friend, Tehm. Cracked skull down the center, split in half.
She's going to let out a Leonin roar, like could be heard for miles around, and she's going to attempt to use mass healing word on both of them to try to help them at the same time.
Xenia roars out, Salt, as you land into
I
the
react to
ground
that.
next to where Hercules is. You hear a roar 100 feet away that sounds like it's right in your ear as a prideful Leonin roars out in pain as her best friend has passed. Salt, you see Herc, your new friend, crumpled and wings tattered and feathers marking the landscape, not the rocks, but the colorful blue feathers of a penguin.
I pull Summer out of the hat and then drop down on my knees and shake Herc, saying, "Are you awake? Wake up. Wake up."
You try and pick up his heavy, heavy bird body. His bones are light, his feathers light. You try your best. You shake him. Summer, you catch a breath after a minute long of holding your breath inside the hat in the darkness of the bag of holding that is your hat. You come out and you see the destruction that has happened before you.
Where's Tehm? Where's Xenia?
Salt, you look over.
I know it.
Someone's just gonna start running and looking for them.
Summer, you see the dead body of the rock as you run as fast as you can over to look for your friends. On the other side of the rock, you see Xenia on her knees, red energy pouring out from her across the land, trying her best to heal what she can from the bodies, but there is nothing to heal. Summer, as you're looking over the scene, I need you to roll me a perception.
18.
18. You see the red glow, Greek red, pouring out from Xenia on the ground, trying its best to put Tehm's body back together. But there is another glow, bright and orange, that sits beneath Mabel. Xenia has picked up Mabel's body, trying her best to heal her, but Mabel had something in her hand that she's dropped, something glowing bright, bright orange on the ground, covered in dirt.
I'm gonna run over and brush the dirt off and hold it in my hands.
You push off the ground as you pull up 2 phoenix feathers. Roll an Arcana check.
18.
18. You have heard of the magic of phoenix feathers. They are incredibly, incredibly rare. The value of what you hold in your hand could mirror the sun spear, could mirror anything, as this is a chance at another life. You saw Hercules dead on the ground behind. You saw Mabel reaching for what must have been something to save her, but she died on the ground before she was able to do anything. There are 2 phoenix feathers in your hand.
Do I know what to do with them?
You know what they can do. You do not know how to do it.
I'm gonna go over to Tehm and I'm gonna start to try and like gather him together and hold him, and I'm gonna sit down on the ground holding the feathers, and I'm gonna start whispering, "No, please, no, please."
About this stage, I'm walking over to Summer and Xenia.
So you walk over with tears streaming down Xenia and Summer's face. Summer trying her best to grab all the bones that she can. Xenia using her magic to try and piece the bones back together, has yet to see the feathers in Bree's hands, or Summer's hand, as she's clutching them tightly, trying to place the bones on them, doing her best to heal as best she can. Summer, you come over, or Salt, you come over and see your sister and Xenia. What you would hope to see, the still living bodies of Mabel and Tehm, you do not find. As Atta lands on the ground and begins to try and pick some of the
From my
bones
perspective?
up. Yeah, they are both dead.
Xenia, do you know about the phoenix feathers? Do you know?
Xenia, roll a religion check. Or an arcana, if you have a higher arcana.
No, that's a 6.
You've not heard of the powers of phoenix feathers. There aren't any phoenixes where you come from.
What?
What do you have there, sis?
They're feathers.
There's
they're
feathers
feathers.
everywhere.
No, I hold them out and show Assault. And do you remember the tales that we heard in the circus about the birds, the phoenix can rise from the ashes?
Yes, but they're rare. There's no way you would be holding phoenix feathers.
Chat sent them to me. I know. It's not his time. It's not time yet. I'm gonna start screaming to Chat. What do I do? Help me!
Xenia, you hear Summer scream into the winds, asking what to do with these feathers, what to do, how to make things right. You don't know what she's talking about with these feathers. You're trying the best you can to heal these people.
She's trying, I think at this point too, she'd be in shock, and she'd even try to pick out like the tiny bits of bone that are scattered in the dirt and then walk them back to Summer, and then go back to find more bones and walk back to Summer, and just tears streaming down her face with her red healing magic just on the tips of her fingers, never leaving.
You grab as much bone dust and bone pieces as you can. As Summer cries out on the winds that carry her voice through the mountains and across the lands for Chat, asking them what to do, how she can help here. Chat, what do you think she should do with the phoenix feathers? How do you think that would work? How do you think that these phoenix feathers can work? Who should she save?
Hey Ryan, I'm
Yep.
texting you right now.
Okay.
I just realized I can do it that way.
Okay. Yeah, please do. I want to hear what chat would say, who they think they should save, and how they think they should do it. I'm hearing don't save Mabel, definitely Team, obviously. Salt is still alive. Everyone is alive, same for Team, Hercules, and Mabel. Let Mabel die. Sorry, it's a very serious moment, but it's almost a chant going on.
What about all of? I'm just gonna start whispering, I guess, into the wind. I don't know. There's two. Mabel, all those creatures. What will happen to them? Oh,
I'm a little bit angry, frustrated at what's going on. And I snap at Summer. Show me those feathers. They can't be phoenix feathers.
I reach my hands out, but don't let go, so that they're visible.
And I look at them.
Take a
Is
look.
there any way I can see if they feel like what we were told in the circus?
You can roll a history on that.
What?
That's a
I'm
4.
getting told to eat them.
You don't know the difference between a phoenix feather or a red feather that you had on your beard a moment ago.
Summer, we can we can take them back to the city, but you're holding on to just feathers. They're feathers. I understand that that's all you've seen for the last couple of minutes, but we need to go and find someone who can help us.
You don't understand. I'm gonna maybe fire. Maybe we need fire.
Summer,
You've got to trust me.
Xenia,
I can hear them.
you
throw my
don't
hands
know
up
about this god of
and turn
chatter.
around and just start storming off, just a couple of feet.
Salt, you walk to the other side of the rock to not have to see anything going on here. Xenia,
I'll still keep within range.
you're right. You're not very far. Xenia, you don't know about this god of chatter or god of whispers. It's not your god. It's not who you worship. You can ask your god as well if you'd like.
Yeah. She would probably, after walking back and forth to collect bones, just collapse on the floor, shaking and crying, and hear Summer trying to talk to her god, so she would do the same.
Your god works very differently than the god of chatter and whispers. You know, yelling into the wind won't help you. You get down and pray as you let the static around you in the air come to your fur, and your fur begins to stand up like a spidey sense, your fur sticking straight upwards. Roll me a percentile check.
Oh, man.
While you're doing that, Ryan, I've sent you the text messages.
I've been looking at
They're
them.
fairly important. Okay, cool.
I've been looking at them.
56.
56. Xenia, you pray on the ground, trying for guidance to figure out what to do. You're hoping that your God can give you some direction here. But you don't hear your God in the wind. You don't hear words from your God. But you do begin to see the clouds form overhead. Dark as they gather, cloaking the sun above you, putting you in darkness as rain begins to fall. Sprinkles, not a shower. Rain begins to fall around you, Summer, as you're holding the bones of Tehm next to Mabel's body. As rain begins to fall around you, you hear thunder roll over the land before a sudden and loud crack of lightning strikes a tree nearby, splitting the tree in half. The logs go splintering, flying. You almost are knocked back and away, Summer and Salt, away from this thing. Xenia, you hold your ground steady as you see a burning log from the lightning that is struck into this tree. On the ground, a mini pyre lights itself and burns in the sprinkling rain.
Bring me the flames. Bring the flames. Bring the bodies and bring the flames.
Xenia's gonna go over and can tell that these two are connected, so she'll get any broken branches or anything to light and bring back to Summer.
You grab a smoldering branch, wipe some of the fire off, and you stick the leaves in the fire where it expands out almost like a small torch as you bring it over. As Summer's reaching for it, but you hesitate for a moment as you look down, seeing what she plans to do. You see Mabel's body laying there on the ground. You look over and see Herc on the far side and the bones of Tehm sitting next to her. Before you hand Summer the branch hesitantly, do you hand it to her or do you make the decision as you hold the fire currently?
She's the one asking for it, so I'll give it to her, but I'll ask her, I'm sorry, what are you planning to do?
I have to burn. And I take it, the log, and I put it down towards the bones. And I put the fire. I place the feather over Tehm's bones and let one of them burn.
Like a rag full of gasoline, as the fire touches the phoenix feather, an explosion rocks. Summer, Xenia, Salt, even you, standing slightly far away, are knocked to the ground as you turn, looking to a bright light as a figure floats up 10 feet in the air, floating, made of a bright orange and red light, flames licking its feet. You can't even see the figure of this form as the fire engulfs it before slowly the fire begins to give way. As you see boots around scaled legs, the fire begins to give way as bronze skin goes up through his legs, up to his waist. Before you begin to see similar attire to before. Tehm's clothes, bronze scales, before another outline begins to make its way in the fire. Wings on the back of Tehm. Bird-like wings, white and angelic. As Tehm, your vision suddenly returns to you. Not the vision you had before. Eyesight. True eyesight. As you fall 10 feet to the ground, you look around. Unfamiliar faces surround you.
What have you done?
I'm just going to run forward and wrap my arms around him. And
What?
you cry.
A small
Where's
rat,
Tehm?
a rodent, runs up and hugs your waist. A rodent clad in clothing, a forest creature, around your waist. And a cat that stands on two legs as another rat sits by a large prey felled from the sky.
Tehm?
What have you guys done?
Look at it. I
This
told
isn't
you.
Tehm?
Let's
Have you
start
done
pushing
this?
away this rat that's
holding on to me.
Summer, Team feels different. Not only thicker and skinned and organs, but he seems to regard you differently as he pushes you away from him quickly.
I just a smile is gonna break out on my face, and I like scurry backwards on my back and my legs, and I move back towards the flames, and I look back towards Herc, and tears fall from my face, and I grab the burning torch and I perform the same.
I grab Summer before she does.
Summer, you grab the torch, but you feel your brother tackle you from behind, slamming you into the ground as you lose the torch on the ground.
What are you doing? What have you done to Team? What are you going to do? This is an abomination.
No, they need.
That's not Team. What have you done to him?
It's him in his truest form. They told me that this.
His true form was Bone Man. He was my bone friend. He was our bone friend.
Walt, I need to stop. Just stop. It will be okay. Okay, just trust me. I always look
This is
after
wrong.
I'm gonna push him away and grab the flame.
I'm gonna hold her.
Xenia, you see your two friends, brother and sister, fighting over the flame, but you see your best friend renewed. His body returned to him, but wings that you've never seen on a dragonborn before. White bird-like wings. Like you've seen depicted in murals on cathedrals and temple walls, but none like this. Roll me a religion check.
$14.
14. You have a thought in your mind before it fleets. You think, no, you're just glad to see your friend alive. Truly alive. As Team, you see a dead woman's body on the ground and a bone creature with wings laps at your feet, almost biting at you at the leg before you move away quickly. You've seen creatures like this before, but they have skin. What is this bone beast doing to your leg? Before you suddenly hear a mind that it's not your own inside your skull. You, oh my God, Team, what happened to you? Oh, you look so bad. Oh, what's going on?
All of you, stay away from me. And Team's gonna turn and start running off into the woods.
Team, you run off into the trees by the flames to the east as this jackal-like creature chases you, flying in the air. He says, "No! What are you okay? Why are you running? Your friends are here!"
Wait, and she'll just yell, Team!
He's running away, hands on his ears.
She's gonna chase after him.
Xenia, you're gonna run after Team. You run through the forest. Team runs like someone who was caught in the midst of a burglary, running not for his life, but just scared and confused into the forest to the east.
Team, is this your before self?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Stay away from me.
She's gonna slow down her run, but still jog and keep him in line of sight.
You see Atta growling and yelling at him, flying through its trees like a bird on attack, trying to get to its prey as Atta's just going for its friend in the forest. As Summer and Salt, back to you. You're wrestling, trying to get the flame, the torch, out of Summer's hand, Salt.
I'm gonna want my goal to pin her down and take this feather off her.
Summer.
She's gone mad. She's gone insane. I don't know what the heck she's doing at the moment.
Both of you
It's
roll
all happening again. It's all happening again.
an athletics check.
5, but I'm lucky. But I don't know if I feel
5,
lucky,
but I'm lucky.
I don't know if I'm feeling lucky right now or not.
Aurora says luck. Let's see what other people say. Salt, what was your roll? Oh, I guess wait until find out
Sure.
if she wants to use the luck or not. Luck. Yeah,
You guys don't
go
want it
for
to happen again, guys? Come on.
That was 2.
2. It's going for 2 then. You've used luck once today before this already, correct?
Yeah, I have 1 left.
Okay, sounds good. Salt, what would you get?
Athletics is 19.
Summer, your tears kind of pull your strength out of your body as Salt, you grab the feather from her as you pin your sister to the ground. You grab the feather and hop off of her, holding the feather in your hand away from her as she, with not much strength in her, tries her best to grab it away from you as you hold it above her.
Stop, sis. This is
No.
insane.
You have
What have
to
you
move.
done? What have you done?
No, I don't want to hurt you, but I will. Move.
Sis, we're not going to go through this again.
I cast Hellish Rebuke. I point my finger at him and I say move.
Salt, as you have grabbed the feather, roll your damage on Salt. And roll to see if you...
It is a dex save and he's a rogue, so I
Right,
doubt
right.
it's going to do anything.
Salt, get your dex save. Couldn't remember if it was a hit or...
19.
19. That's a save.
Yeah.
Then. As
Yeah.
your sister does point to the ground, suddenly a bright burst of yellow light pops in the ground. Had that been your ankle, you're not sure what would have happened to your leg.
I've got it pinned, right?
Currently, you hopped off her to grab the feather, but you could easily do it
Okay.
again.
No.
It's half damage.
Okay. So how much damage is that total?
Let me
Keep me
roll.
honest.
Woo-wee.
Oh, well, I rolled 19 damage.
19. So single target, round up. That's 10 damage to you, Salt.
Yep.
You still up?
I am up.
Okay. As the blast, it does shock you. Splinters of magic seem to pierce your skin on your leg. Your sister hurt you.
I hiss and leg it.
Salt grabs the phoenix feather and begins heading northeast, south, or west. South is back to Novigrad. North is the mountains. West is away from where Tehm
Toward
and Xenia
Novigrad.
run. Okay. Salt begins running to the south. Summer, your brother, runs off. What are you doing?
I grab the flames and I walk over to Mabel's body and I burn the feather and I burn her.
No, Salt has the feather.
I've got the feather.
He's got the feather.
Yeah.
I run after him.
Summer is
faster
currently
than him.
chasing you, Salt.
I'll be quicker than her because I've got my dash as well.
Correct.
I cast Expeditious Retreat on myself.
Salt, you begin running as quick as you can, knowing that you can outspeed your sister. You've done this 1,000,000 times. However, Summer, you're not having this. You bless the feet beneath you as you begin pushing faster than you ever have, easily catching your brother as he goes quick, nimble as he ever has. But you are determined not to let him get away.
I can see her catching me, right?
Yeah.
I will open my pouch of 1,000 ball bearings and drop them behind me.
Okay, sounds good. Summer, as you're running through the woods, you see your brother do something you've seen him do before as he throws all 1,000 ball bearings, littering steel marbles beneath your feet. As you have to run over them to catch him or around them to slow yourself down, what are you doing? You can try and run through them. You just have to make a dex save.
I'm going to run through them and I'm going to yell, "You're killing her." And I'll take the dex save, I guess.
Okay, roll a dex save.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. As the pure magic beneath your feet causes you not to slip, as Salt you hear, "You're killing her!" As Summer, you rush past the marbles, able to catch up to your brother. What are you doing as you catch him?
I'm just going for that feather. I'm going to try and get it out.
Okay. As you catch up to him quickly, both of you roll another athletics. Summer, you at advantage for catching him from behind. Happy birthday, by the way, Corthane.
Happy birthday. birthday.
This was
Happy
Corthane's
birthday.
wish. Thank you, Corthane. Just kidding, brother. What'd you get, Summer?
17 plus 3, 20.
I can't remember. I think I said
15.
15.
15 and 20. You catch up to your brother. You try and tackle him. Salt, your determination to not let this happen again. You hold onto the feather like a football player beneath his arms. Summer, you try and wrestle it out of him. You're just not able to.
I last luck chat. I'm hearing that chat's behind me.
It's chat
I'm
behind
getting
you.
lots
Come
of
on, chat.
I'm getting lots of
She's crazy
encouragement
at the
from
moment,
chat.
chat.
Luck from Aurora.
Okay.
Luck. Yeah.
20.
20. That's a tie.
Mhm.
Okay, roll it again, both of you.
Isn't it highest dex then?
That's for initiative.
Okay.
This is an athletics roll. We do highest strength for that.
Sure.
Sounds happy, Summer.
19.
Ooh, Salt.
19.
Do it again.
I don't want to roll this again. I'm going to get like a 2. I'm using breeze dice. Nat 20.
16.
At 20. Salt, you, in a fit, after your sister hurt you, in a fit of
Thank
just
you, Brett.
desperation, you elbow her in the kidney, causing her to fall off of you as you run further towards Novigrad in the south.
I'm not going to run, Ryan.
Okay, you can stop.
I'm gonna jump, pop up Pepper's tail, and make me go 30 foot in the air.
As you jump like a handlebar, as you begin floating up with your mage hand, with as light as you are, you begin floating 30 feet in the air, occupying both your hands to be able to do this as you hold the feather against the tail there.
Oh shit!
So we have to take responsibility for what we have done. We can't leave all of these creatures without a mother, without
We
a
can,
wife.
but we need to think about this.
No,
You've just
you-
converted one of our friends into some
No.
random crazy creature.
Stop and listen to me now. I swear to
We
God,
need
I'm
to
gonna
go to
leave.
the elders. We need to go back to the inn. They know what they're doing. You don't know what you're doing. You didn't bring back Team. You bring
don't
back
know
some
how
other
this-
creature.
I don't know how long this is going to work. If you do not help me now, that's it.
I am helping you, sis. You
Go
need to
and
stop
find
for a
her.
minute.
You can
You
find
need
her.
to stop for a minute. This is not right. We don't. This is not what we do.
What do we do? Just create havoc behind us and then don't take responsibility for it? Do we we orphan children? We have left a house full of creatures that depend on this woman, and she's dead because of us.
But if you're saying this is what it is, then she might not be dead. But let's do it right and not bring her back as some crazy other creature.
That's not another creature. That's Tim. That's him with
That's
skin.
not Team.
That's
He didn't
him
even
alive.
recognize us. That's not Team.
He was dead. So
Team is
now he's
Bones.
walking.
Team is Bones. That's not Bones. That's not
You have
right.
her tail. If that is enough, if you want to stay up there with her, that's fine. I'm going to help our friends, and I'm going to take responsibility for the things that we've done. And I turn around and I run back.
Your sister leaves you hanging in the air as she runs back to the rock body. So you float there for a moment.
I will slowly follow, but I'm going to keep my distance for the moment because I need her to calm down.
So you slowly land to the ground as you walk up. Summer, you run passing Herc's body as you stop briefly, looking between Herc and Mabel, and you can't decide who to run to help. As we go back to Xenia, Tehm, and Atta. Tehm, you rushing through the forest. That bony jackal is still catching you. Roll me a perception check. He is a muted.
Critical fail.
Oh,
Critical fail.
not one.
I rolled another one.
Oh, solid. You keep running through the forest. As you're taking a look back to see what is still chasing you, you trip on a vine for a moment that runs across the ground, landing flat on your back. Xenia, you see your friend fall. Not sure what sort of shape he's in right now as you run to catch up to him, to check on him. As Atta lands on the ground nearby, standing back as Tehm, you flip over as you see this lioness creature walk up to you with spear on its back, and this jackal standing on the ground looking over you, looking at you cautiously.
Yeah, I'm doing that, that classic crawl backwards, like in the leaves, trying to get away from a serial killer kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, I woke up and I see 2 dead people and a party standing there. This is what I'm thinking.
Absolutely.
I'm just going. Oh, that was just for you, so you know. Think creative. That was 4 different dice.
They're like, swap the dice, damn it.
Xenia's gonna approach with her hands, up, showing no confrontation. Hey, it's me, Xenia.
I have no idea who you are.
She's gonna cry a little bit. Wait, what do you
Why
mean?
are you following me? Where am I?
I followed you because your team, and I could never get your last name correctly, but that's Atta, and we're your best friends, and we've been with you for the past, I don't know how many weeks, months. Time has been dilated a little bit. We were stuck in the sand for a while too, but that doesn't matter. But I've known you for a very long time. We were warriors together back in the Oasis, and when you were a bone man of sorts, you told me that you woke up one day and you weren't in your flesh body and you don't have any recollection of who you were, and now I think you're back in your flesh body with no recollection of who you were, and we were best friends. That's why I followed you. But I suppose you are your original person now, and if you want to go on and be who you were before you met us, that makes complete sense. You should be who you want to be. And she's just gonna collapse and just start mumbling.
I'm rolling an 8. I rolled an 18 on insight.
I mean,
that wasn't even. Yeah, no, it's just an 18 on insight. Is she like? Would I be able to tell? I would assume with the way she's acting, I would be able to tell that she's being
The only person
very truthful
that you've ever seen talk with such genuine reverence is Qatar himself. When he speaks of his dreams, this is familiar to you. This kind of you feel a kinship with this creature that you thought you reserved to your kind, to Dragonborn. As you look down at the boned creature that goes instead of to you now over to Xenia and curls in her lap, as Xenia's Atta runs up to you and looks at Tehem but curls to you for comfort.
I don't know, Atta. I don't know.
Atta gurgles at you in this deep, sad gurgle as Tehem, you hear. Is he okay? He won't hug me. Is he okay? Are you okay?
Not understanding completely what she's saying, but understanding enough because she spent enough time with him. She's just gonna go, I don't know what's happening, Atta. I don't know. She's gonna try to pet him too as best as she could.
He curls up into you. Again, you don't know what he says, but you've been around him long enough to kind of get his inflections with his growls and his gurgles as you hug the small thing. Seeing this Leonin creature hugs an undead, such a bony thing, she doesn't appear to have much malice in her, Tehem. As she holds him, you see something familiar to you. A collar on this creature. As she says Atta, Your ears ring out. You have a jackal named Atta. That thing carries your pet's collar. As it turns and looks at you, seeing the tag on Atta's collar, suddenly a flash of memories floods your mind. Everything that you've been doing for the past 100 years enters your vision. 1,000 years of darkness pass in an instant as you were buried beneath the sands in your tomb, before suddenly you remember everything from this life and the life of your death.
I immediately run over.
Xenia, Tehm drops to his knees in front of you, looking
I
different.
don't know.
Recollection in his eyes.
I don't know what we're gonna do, Atsa. I don't know. And then Team's gonna run
I
over.
grab them both.
Team?
Tehm?
I have no idea what has happened, but I do know that I am grateful that you were the first thing I have seen.
Not even to say anything, just big Leonin hug around him, probably tackling him and
Squishing
the-
Atta between you two.
oh no,
Not hard,
oh, no.
but just like when a family hugs each other and there's a child between
yeah.
like the mother and father or whoever.
She'll get Atta out of there and then hug again and then tackle him to the ground and then just start to like slap him. Like what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that about?
Team,
What?
joy fills your face before pain fills your cheeks. Not your bones, but your actual cheeks.
Oh, that actually hurts.
This feels
Oh,
weird.
I-
You're squishy.
now I understand how Robert felt when I slapped him in the face. Ah,
You're
what is
warm.
this?
You're warm and you have texture. Well, and she's gonna get off of him.
Fucking shaky, I'm sorry. By the way, of course, Chad has been saying inspo. Of course, every single person now is getting an inspo, but I can't interrupt the flow with it. But now that there seems to be a feels break for Jakey, I could tell everyone that you absolutely can have a point of inspiration.
To quote my boy Loki, I have been crying for 30 minutes.
We just brought you here to guest cry, Jake. You don't get to play today. You just get to cry on screen.
Why would you do this? You invite me to play Dungeons and Dragons. You say bring
Cry
your
for
dice,
4
bring your
hours.
fun, bring your hair, bring your bun, and instead I just cry.
4
Good
hours of crying.
God,
Instead of Dungeons
That's
and
all we brought
Dragons,
here
we play
for.
Fellows and Feels around
Oh.
here.
absolutely incredible. Y'all
Yeah,
rock.
fuck 'em all.
Anyway,
Back to it. As you begin pounding on Team's cheeks, you're, now I know what Robert feels like. This does not deter you,
wait.
Xenia, as you
Wait,
smack
wait.
him again.
Wait. And he's gonna start like grabbing her at her paws.
Sorry. She's gonna hop off and just
He's
look
gonna pick
at
up
him.
Ada.
As you
You
pick up
say-
this bony creature, you shake the fog from your mind before recollection hits your eyes, as no bony tongue, but bony teeth begin to gnaw at you and nibble at you like a cat does when it actually likes you, but it feels slightly painful.
You know how I feel.
I thought I
I'm glad
lost.
you were okay.
I didn't know what happened. What? You're so fat. What happened? What? What is stuck to you?
I do not know what has happened. The last thing I remember was throwing you out of the talons, and now I am here.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh. You're okay though, right?
I think so. I feel. And then with that question, he's gonna look back to Xenia and he's like, "Wait, is everyone else okay?"
Shit. I don't know about Mabel or Herc, and then gotta go.
As
I start moving, and then I feel the drag of wings behind me, confused.
you Your wings are
Is this-
digging into the ground, pulling dirt along with you. What? So you look around. Team, you roll me a history check.
I'm not rolling any of these dice anymore. I'm rolling. I don't know what to roll. Everything's failed me tonight.
Xenia's gonna notice the delay in team and gonna turn around and did you always
Hey!
have those?
Hey, that's nat 20.
Fuck, finally. God damn.
Why?
Team,
Why?
as Xenia says, have you always had those? You turn and look around at your wings. You have been blessed by Qatar himself, one of his chosen, one of his protectors from the celestial realm. This is not your original form. You're taking the form, your dragonborn body, but of that of a protector Aasimar.
Oh, sheet.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
You literally...
Yes,
oh,
isn't she
shit.
classic? That is all it is. Is just oh sheet. Team's gonna shake off this thought for the moment, and he's just running with Xenia now back over there, trying to at least pick up his wings a little bit so they're not dragging.
Xenia, you're like, have you always had those? As he's picking up his wings, like, of course not. As you rush.
He's
Back
really
over.
awkward about them.
Oh, yeah. It's like trying to carry a backpack that has two sides that's not like really strapped in, that kind of like when you're carrying two bags on each shoulder and you just kind of, your weight keeps going from the left to the right. It is not comfortable for you. Team, as you try and slip between two trees, making your way, you actually get stuck as your wings hit the outside of the two trees as you fall to the ground.
I think not. And I'm gonna help him.
Yeah, Xenia, you pick him up as Atta says,
Oh, whoa, you're like me now. That's great.
as you're like, no time, as the three of you continue to run back over to the rock. Where we're going to cut back to Summer and Salt. As Summer, you are currently looking between Herc.
Just
And
quickly,
Mabel.
if I can jump in, Ryan.
Yes.
I need to ask chat a very important question. And I need chat to answer yes or no.
Okay.
That's it.
I think
Oh.
that's
Yes
the
or no,
question.
chat.
Oh, is that's yes.
That's the
Rybomom
question.
says.
I need yes or no.
Rybomom says yes.
There is no question.
Sure. Yes, no. God damn it. That's my favorite answer so far. Most
Welcome
likely
to
a no.
being
Yes,
part
no,
of the
no.
God of Chat, right?
All right.
Okay. My tail grabs forcefully out of my hand the feather. So
Tail.
face just
You look
goes
back.
white.
You're the
No!
What grabbed the feather
I know it's
before
it's
you
a
turn?
tail. I know.
No, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
before you turn and
Yep.
see that your tail has it.
No, you can't do this. No. And I try to grab the feather off the tail, and the tail's keeping the feather away from me.
As you turn, the tail turns. You're unable to, like a cat trying to kiss a string on its tail.
Sis, you have to help me. She can't do this. And my body starts actively feeling like it's being dragged towards the flame.
Summer, you hear your brother cry out, saying, "You can't do this," as he scooches backwards towards the flame, his tail with the feather heading towards the fire.
Help! Help!
Summer, your brother suddenly looking for you, his hands reaching out, asking for help.
Can I see what the tail's doing? Can I see how he's in trouble?
It looks like he is pulling himself backwards, scuttling away, his tail straight towards the flames.
What is Mabel? Is she a
She's
is she
human.
a human? So I can't carry her.
She's half elf, but yeah.
I'm gonna run like towards and not speak, just watch.
Okay. as you run towards Salt. Salt, your sister coming over, but not helping you as you're asking, as your tail pulls you further and further towards the fire.
She didn't run away. She died. I found her. I couldn't tell you, and she became part of it. I still hear her, and now she's gonna come back. I don't know what to do. Help!
Jeez. I'm gonna trace after the tail.
Summer, you run towards Salt as the tail is pulling
It's
him
my physical
away.
tail, by the way.
Yeah. As
Yep.
you run towards Salt, the tail pulling him away, scooching him backwards. You run to Salt. Like, what do you get next to him, right next to the tail? Like, what do you want me to do?
Pull us away from the fire. I think she's going for the fire.
As the tail is pulling itself towards the fire that is on the log nearby. Neither body, Herc or Mabel, is near the tail.
I'm gonna
I'm grasping
jump
for my
the-
sister.
I still have Expedious Retreat as well, so I'm gonna like run as fast as I can and jump for the and like try and pull him back.
Summer, you jump for the tail to grab the feather and grab the tail. Roll me a acrobatics roll.
Okay, acrobat. 19.
19. Okay. Summer, as you jump, the tail focusing all its effort as it's maybe a foot from the fire at this point, as the log that was struck by lightning burns its hot embers. You grab the phoenix feather right before it touches. Salt's tail begins to try and slap at you. His shiny, piercing tip of the tail almost stinging towards you as you scooch back away from it. Salt, you pull the tail away just enough to keep it from attacking Summer by the half. It's not attacking you, but it is trying to hit you, Summer, as if a snake lunging to bite you, sliding your way before you walk away with the feather in hand.
I'm gonna shuffle back towards the as quickly as I can. I'm gonna shuffle back as far away from Salt as possible.
Okay. You run back towards the rock. Salt, you stand there next to the log, holding your tail back. It keeps trying to lunge towards Summer, towards the feather. Summer, you sit between Mabel and Herc on the ground at the feet of the rock.
Knock me out, sis.
I'm going to clutch the feather in my hand as tight as I can, and I'm gonna roll into a little ball, and I'm gonna close my eyes. And I'm gonna just stay there.
Salt, it takes all your energy to hold the tail away. As you see, you're hoping for your sister's help, but it's her coping mechanism. She rolls up into a ball, trying her best to hold on. As Xenia, team, you rush out of the forest, happy to be alive. One, Xenia, seeing that your friend is still here. Team, you're grateful knowing that Salt and Summer will still be alive, but heading over to see what's happening with Herc and Mabel. What Summer has chosen before you see Salt's tail lunging like a snake towards Summer, who sits maybe 10, 20 feet away in a curled up ball.
Whoa, you guys, what's happening?
Knock me out.
What?
And
Why?
I lose control of the tail. With
Salt
my hands.
begins scooting backwards, further towards Summer, like he's going to stab her, like you have seen in battle many times.
I have my memories, and I know Salt to be one thing. He may be a fibber, but he's not a liar. So with that, I'm not even gonna think twice about it. I'm gonna run up and just smack the shit out of him.
Team, a little bit of anger in having died gets to come out in this moment, as you hit Salt a little harder than you had originally planned, but it definitely does the job, as the tail is not focused on you, it is focused on Summer, before a pounding fist clocks the side of Salt, knocking you out on the ground. Summer, you hear a poof and the crack of bone as something hit very hard, seeing a dragonborn covered in flesh and wings, and Xenia stand in front of you
I'm not looking. I'm just completely shut down.
in a
Summer,
ball.
are you okay? Summer. I'm gonna go around her and rub her head and back.
There's too many voices. Don't know what to do.
Voices?
Xenia, You and Team hear nothing but the cool breeze in the forest nearby, with the dark clouds overhead.
Voice. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Summer, you begin to hear voices. Do it. Save Mabel. Mabel. No, get Hercules needs it. No. Take the feather for yourself and run. Leave them all. Kill them all. Now save them. Keep the feather. Save Mabel. Save Herc. Save Mabel.
Save.
Xenia and Team, you hear nothing but the wind.
I'm going to start chanting the voices that I can hear.
How can I help? Oh, she's still going to be in shock from everything that's happened, considering so much has happened in the past few minutes. So she's just going to, how can I help you? What can I do for you?
I kind of collapse from the ball and I hold out the feather and reach it out to Xenia.
Okay, she's going to grab it. Shit. Team,
Yes.
we have one more chance. Who do we use it on?
Well, as much as I appreciated Herc and what he has done, Mabel has a menagerie of creatures to look after. It is what it is. But I did not know Herc is. I don't know either of them well, and I can't give you a good answer. But what I will say is, from what I know of the two, Mabel, to me, had a much larger responsibility on her plate.
She does have
there
many.
There are creatures we know of that depend on her, and
She does have children of sorts, but we also don't know if Herc had children.
and depending on what we choose, we may never know.
But what if she could get more of these somehow? She found them. She had them.
Can I remember back to when we were at the menagerie and there was two particular eggs, one with feathers underneath it that looked like they were on fire?
Mm-hmm. Roll
Would I
a
be
history
able
to see if you remember.
History is +4. Hey, that's 18.
18. You saw a feather similar to this back in her menagerie.
The smart move would be to bring back Mabel. If anyone would know how to help, I feel it would be her.
I agree, unfortunately. And then she'll look to Herc's direction and remember last words that he said. I'm sorry, Herc. And she's going to place it on top of Mabel.
Xenia, you go set the phoenix feather on Mabel, her broken and crumpled body laying there. You lay her out flat, though flat is a relative term as her arm is broken, and her legs in more places than you can imagine. But you lay the phoenix feather on her chest as she lays there, bloodied and on the ground. The log that is on fire is nearby. You could grab a branch and light it up if you'd like.
I do.
Team, you see Xenia walk over to a log covered in embers, like a grill of coals, as she lays a branch down. It engulfs in flames as you walk over to Mabel, looking over at Summer as you sit up, looking at what they're to do. Team, you nod your appreciation and your thanks to Xenia as this is the right thing, as you will lay the fire down, and again, like a flash of gasoline, covers all of you in a bright flaming light. Another flaming figure stands before you.
I would like to stand
Woman made
in
of bone.
front of this figure, in the most non-aggressive looking mannerisms, like how you would expect to be greeted in heaven, just with your arms behind your back, just like, hey, you're
Hey.
dead, but now you're alive.
How's
so
it
hey.
going? As much like Team, this figure engulfed in flames, the silhouette begins to form as you see clothes of Mabel begin to form themselves. And yet, again, new silhouettes, 2 wings off of Mabel's back that come out of her body before she falls to the ground, laying there.
I'm gonna help her up.
Oh gosh. She seems far less startled by this than you originally were, Team.
That's fair.
She runs her hands through her curly, short hair as she stands up. She's looking down, seeing the rock dead on the ground as she... This is all my fault. Damn. That is a shame. Hello. Hello. What were you doing? What? She looks over at the 3 of you. What were you doing on the mountain?
We were here to bring you back. You've been missing for over a week. Your menagerie was in shambles. Your cat creature, Gorf, I believe his name was.
Gorf, is he okay?
Well, and he's not going to mention the catnip.
The big bag
But
of
he's going to be like,
big bag of drugs.
"Yes, he is all right, but we had to go inside of your menagerie to help.
If you open the door, so many creatures will have gotten out.
Trust me, not a single one got out. In fact, we helped your Gorf put animals back into cages.
Good boy. I should feed him more treats as best I can. We fell from the sky. I pulled feathers out. As she reaches to her back, as she kind of like strokes the angel wings on her back. She's like, that makes sense. Thank you for. I tried to have them ready. I hope that maybe we would catch flame. I don't know how friction works. I thought maybe we would spark up and just maybe we wouldn't even die in the first place. But damn.
I have a question for you. You seem very talkative, like a friend I know, but I need to ask you this. Is there any way, and Team's going to gesture over to Herc, is there any way you could help him out?
Oh, I'm so terribly sorry. She begins walking over to Herc. You all see her walk over with kind of arms kind of huddled up, doing kind of like the fiddle with her hands, like kind of a need to stay busy kind of fiddle. She's like, oh no. Oh, she picks up his arm with his feathers as his hand does a flop to the ground. She goes, oh no. Oh. I'm so sorry this has happened to your friend. It should never have happened. I am also terribly sorry to you, my friend, as she points over to the rock. This also shouldn't have happened to you. He was sick. I should have only been out here a day. I was just trying to help him, and your friend... God, I thought he would fly away as he fell. I thought he would be safe, and your other friend was free. I thought these would be for you and I. Hello, you have skin. Sorry, no, not important. I thought he would fly away. I thought he would just save himself. I'm sorry, I have no other feathers that I can use for this. There's Coracrucians, there's other clerics who might be able to do the job in the business if we're quick.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick up Herc's body.
Team,
with muscles. I have muscles!
Ah.
Is there a prayer? Is there a prayer that we can say? Can we ask?
Well, it depends on to which god, and most of them need quite a lot of praying. It's fine. There are those who can help. Do any of you magic by chance? I thought I saw you with a bit of magic. She points to Xenia.
I do. I'm almost out for the day, but I do have some.
You don't possibly have any sort of ice magics? Tell you what, I actually may... Hold on. I always carry with me. She reaches into her pouch. Her hand seems to go deeper than the pouch would allow. She pulls out a small bag that seems to have frost crystals stuck to the edge of the bag here. She says, I rarely leave home without Ice Wraith Essence, and I thought that, might need it here just to... who knows? Sometimes a broken leg, but this seems more severe. His body will decay quickly if you don't do something. Are you averse to the cold? And she points to
No.
your team.
It honestly does not matter.
All right. She pours Ice Wraith Essence over him. This is essentially their time form of powdered liquid nitrogen as she goes to freeze Herc's body to preserve it as best she can.
Holy shit! Dude.
As it touches your hand, team, I need you to make a con save.
Fucking cold.
You're gonna lose your hand. You're back for like 5 minutes.
Your skin falls off.
I have skin now. I have like nerves. Like these are all new sensations that I haven't felt in over 1,000-something years.
Damn. Porridge.
Porridge.
You can taste it now.
What's your con
Hookers.
save?
Sorry. That's a 19 plus 6.
Sounds good. 25.
Oh.
Solid. First roll for new skin.
Yeah.
Oh, this is happening too. Can I cast prayer of healing? So from the beginning, because it
Oh,
takes
yeah.
10 minutes
Absolutely.
on all of us.
As you all are there, Salt unconscious, but you will feel the effects of this soon. As you begin to cast Prayer of Healing, you start knowing you're going to have to walk while you do this. You begin to start the ritual. Team, you grin and bear it as best you can. Your will outweighs the essential nitrogen of these wraith essences. As Herc's body begins to freeze and near instant rigor mortis sets in, his position where he lays across your arm, almost like a U shape over your arms, solidifies in place. You could pick him up with one arm and he would look the exact same. He is near frozen in place now. You're certain that your arms may be stuck to him, hoping that his penguin-esque feathers will prevent some sort of frost resistance there, but it's not what's on your mind right now. Your will to help him is what's at the forefront. Xenia, you begin casting your ritual. Summer, you see that Mabel is up currently. As she pours it over him, she misses a little bit of the essence as it goes directly on your arm, team, as you're like, she's like, I'm sorry, my glasses broke in the fall. I can't see.
It is fine. I have new nerve endings that I never had. It is fine.
Well, let's return him back to Novigrad. Yes?
Yes. Let us go.
I will have to return here later. I'll tell you what is needed, but now this seems to be of utmost importance. Who did he die as well? Why is everyone dying? He didn't fall. I didn't see him fall.
He told me to knock him out, and I did.
That seems so counterproductive.
I don't know. I do what the rat tells me to do.
That's true.
She runs over to Salt and picks up his tail and lets it drop to the ground. He seems to still be
kill him,
alive,
did I?
not dead. That's good. No.
Oh, that is very good.
She seems as if she was going to ask Jackie to do something, but as she sees you busy in prayer, you basically do the stop talking, and she's like, you. She points to you, Summer. Relation? I figured. How about you grab his feet and I'll grab his arms and we'll just... Gods, we're 2 miles from grab his feet. I'm here. I won't complain. You lead the way, though I cannot see right now.
I jump up and grab his feet.
You grab his feet. She takes his tail and kind of wraps it around him, almost like a little belt, so that it sticks to him and doesn't drag in the ground. She grabs his arm. As you can see, her eyes have that 1,000-yard stare. She truly cannot see much further than 5 feet in front of her face right now. As she holds up to Novigrad. we'll go to my place. Do you know of the Red Wagon Inn?
Yes. And
Perfect.
Team's gonna flip his badge.
She looks
I can touch this. Oh my god, metal feels so good. I've missed this.
as you
Sorry,
drop
focus,
Herc for a
focus.
second. You're like, oh shit! As you pick up his body and put it back in your hands, as you hold it up, as you take a look at the metal. She doesn't appear to see what you're doing. You're like, yes, and that's all she hears because she can't see the tiny pin that you're holding up currently. Which she says, good. If we can find somebody there, they may be able to help us. Crucians, it would be Sunday. They'll be busy today. So we'll check the Red Wagon and then we can check Crucians as a last resort. I wouldn't never go to them first.
Oh no, we've got to go to the cult. Jeez.
But that is okay.
Jesus.
I can actually go to the cult. They won't. Let's get him safe. Dun, dun, dun.
As Team begins to jog off downwards, Xenia, Ata follows you at your side as you walk, continuing to cast your spell. Summer, you carrying your brother's unconscious body as Mabel grabs the other end as you walk the 2 miles that it is back to Novigrad through the forest and on the pathway here. As you're going, Xenia, you finally complete your ritual as everyone begins to get the benefits of your prayer of healing. How much do they heal for, Xenia?
7 and an 8 plus a 3 for 18.
18. Solid. As
I've
everyone...
been on 2 HP this whole time.
Have you?
I had 1.
Oh, man. As, I guess, you were unconscious and came back up. As Xenia, you radiate healing. As Mabel's talking to you, Summer, she's like, so, from, the underground, the colony... Kara Crucia, is that where you... As suddenly the healing splits out as Salt, you suddenly regain consciousness, being carried by your sister and Mabel.
Oh, I had. Oh.
You asked me to do it as he's slapping Herc on the back. It's like, don't worry, we're gonna get you okay.
I drop Salt and say,
Ow.
Summer falls over on top of Salt, not expecting you to have dropped him. He's not heavy, but she's not strong. She's, I'm sorry.
I grab her hand with my tail and I lead her.
As Salt, your sister, leaves you behind, as Xenia, you turn with Team and look back as Summer seems to be leaving her brother in the dirt as she walks away, and suddenly Summer and Mabel are leading the pathway towards Novigrad. As Team, you and Xenia are behind as you... wait up! As Salt, you see your friends going towards Novigrad.
I get up and follow.
It is a silent walk back to Novigrad before you start to see the walls of the city surrounding the outside. The gate that leads north to the forest enters your vision as you get closer. You hear bells in the distance. Boom, boom, boom. You know you are in the city as she says, come, if you just tell me what street we're on, I could definitely get us to the Red Wagon. So once we get here, we're going to take a left, and then we'll take another left, and then a left again, and then one more left. No, my head hurts. Do you know where it is?
We've been.
Great. Please, just keep leading on as she holds to your tail as you kind of lead forward. You realize you're passing Mabel's menagerie through this road, but she doesn't seem to recognize or realize it here. Mm-hmm. As you go down the road, taking a left, you... Go ahead.
Can we see how it looks, the menagerie?
The door's still closed, and you don't hear anything.
Okay. Keep going.
As all of you walk down, you're on the main road, you turn to the left, and you see, eventually, after a bit further, the Red Wagon Inn on your left side. With that, let's stop right there for a quick break. Yeah. Seems like a great place to stop. With the stop, make sure, if you have yet to do so, make sure you enter, as I don't know if you all noticed, but the Creeping Flames set that is giving away tonight was absolutely the only reason that Mabel had Phoenix Feathers on her in the first place. As I saw them when Aurora sent them in, she deserves an inspo.
Ryan, I also need you to know that there's been art that me and Safi have been working on for almost like a month now, like idea wise.
Oh no.
That no, in a good way.
Okay.
And we'll all get to see it next week.
Hey. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's something really cool.
I'm excited
I
then.
like it. Okay, break time.
Okay, let's go for a quick break. It is 8:55 my time. Let's come back at 9:02, so 7 minutes from now. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you do exclamation point LUD so that you can enter for those giveaways. These are the dice that brought Tehm and Mabel back to life. So I think that's
They're
kind
super
of cool.
Special. Do it. Exclamation mark.
Feels.
LUD. Do it.
It's
Feels.
backwards.
Sleep.
All right, see everyone in 7 minutes. Bye.
Bye.
Welcome back from our break, everybody. I hope everyone is ready to continue on from an emotional roller coaster and some absolutely fantastic performances all around tonight. Way to go, everybody. Just got to give props where props are due. So
It wasn't
Thank you
acting.
so much.
We were crying. We were all crying.
Just
No,
I don't
actually,
know.
yeah.
Thank you so much. My mic was muted, and I just want to say thank you for your kind words.
Star of the show today.
My stunning performance of going.
wow. What
Just
So much
background of
emotion.
everything just-
Are we gonna get this penguin boy back?
Let's see. Let's continue with the giveaway. If you haven't done it yet, exclamation point LUD, give you like 10 seconds, 15 seconds to get in for these Creep and Flames dice for Aurora Anima or Dawn Spirit dice on Instagram, because they're absolutely gorgeous and you can keep them as a commemoration of the time that Team got brought back to life with some flesh. And if you like Mabel, then great, the time she got back. If you hate Mabel, then the time that they spurned Herc. Whatever memory you want to have.
Don't do that. Don't say those words.
Mabel's
Entries
a
are
good
closed,
person.
my dude.
Entries are closed. If Aurora Anima wins, it's gonna be funny.
Drum roll.
That would be hilarious.
Golem Tinker has
Golem
won the
Tinker.
dice.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Golem Tinker. Good for you. Also, yes, a huge thank you to Aurora Anima for having make these dice that allowed her to have phoenix feathers, because she was planning to have something very different, and I
And-
thought that was cooler.
Thank you for the dice that brought Team back. Because of you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Aura.
With that, how about we show the secret one that we will end in an hour? So we have 2 more giveaways to come. The secret one is this little pill set that I have right here. It is 2 dice. They are the Level Up Dice exclusive 2020 dice. It looks like only 100 were made. You can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But these dice have 20s and 20s. So instead of a crit and a fail, it's got double crit. And then the other one has double fail, which can make for some fun homebrew things. And they're in this super cool little metal case that I really like to slide around because it sounds neato. So I like
Who
it.
will win?
Who will win? Secret giveaway. So this will be the I didn't enter the giveaway in case Chance wanted to play it. Okay, good call. You didn't. But enter this one because you definitely deserve for having saved the group. Aurora Anima is the savior of chat today. Right.
And we won't tell you what we called them before they were named.
These
No.
dice. Yeah, we'll save that one.
And also, it is the last day to use Bobo's coupon. Use Red Wagon Win for
Wagon
15% off anything in the Dice Mania collection on pixelheart.com.
Thanks for the. Oh,
We all have
Jackie
an
gets a
inspo
point, but she already has one because she brought the little cute little doggo.
It's just Doge good feels after the first half of the sesh.
Everybody
We
needs
gotta
eye
figure out how
bleach.
to bring Anna back to life.
Eye bleach, yes.
Eye bleach. He's so good.
Eye bleach. Eye
That's
bleach.
Atta.
Oh. Oh.
Sorry, I have such a fever for wanting a dog. It's just jealous. Beautiful.
So we can't show you dogs and we can't show Rybo wife babies. Is that
Right,
what
it just can't happen because either way, we're gonna have a small dog child if you show us both.
Oh,
Reed beat me by 1 second. I swear, I was about to unmute for that.
Right, beautiful. Let's continue on from there. Make sure you enter for the giveaway as we continue. With the group having come back in, the dark clouds no longer overhead as they remain over the forest behind you. You're back in town. It is maybe about 1 o'clock in the afternoon at this point. It is bright, sunny day, nice breeze going on. Still, it seems many people are away for worship at this time. As you get to the Red Wagon Inn, the doors closed in this more dilapidated version of what you're used to for the Red Wagon Inn. Before Team, you stand behind Xenia, you open the door for him. As Team, you walk in with this bird man frozen in your hands.
Is Sophia at the bar?
As you walk in, everyone's going to come on in behind you. Summer, Salt, and Mabel come walking in. Sophia stands behind the bar, legs up on the top, currently reading a book. She said, "Gods, what happened? What did you do?"
We need you to help him.
Me help? What do you think I can do?
I don't know. Is there anyone in this inn that can help him? He has died. Do you have any clerics? Anything like that?
Let me check. I have a logbook here. She puts out a small little book. Lay him on one of the tables. You see, there's a few adventurers in here. As you lay him, he's still curled up in like an upside down U as he kind of lands on there. You pull your hands free. Ice breaks off of your scales onto the ground. Eric is just kind of laying there like that. As he lays on one of the chairs there on the table, as she begins flipping through the book. Salt, Summer, and Mabel, you come in. Mabel's like, "Oh, we're in here already. Great." She goes and like feels on the table and sits down in front of him. I need to get my glasses soon, but deal with this. As Sophia flips through and she says, "Shit. We don't have a cleric in. We do have a druid, though."
Where are your glasses?
Mabel's like, they're back at the menagerie.
I'll go get them. I
Do you-
don't feel right being here at the moment.
Salt, you begin walking. She's like, "Oh, but you'll need a key." Do you stop?
I don't.
Okay, I figured as Salt leaves the building, heading back to the menagerie. Herc, in his immense roleplay, he's a method actor. Xenia, roll a nature check for me.
That's a 7.
7. Okay. You're not sure why a druid might be helpful. She says, we have a druid. That might could work. How well do you know him? Is he a member?
Sure.
He is? Where's, either way, member or not, we'll help him. Let me go get the druid. I'll be back.
Right.
So she begins walking upstairs very quickly at a fast pace. You're down here with what are two dwarves, older, gray-haired and gray-bearded, braided on the bottom in leathers and axes on their back as they look over there. Hey. He's looking right touch frozen. Where did you come from?
In the forest to the north.
It's not that snowy. What happened?
Well, we froze him. He's dead. We didn't want his body to decay.
Mabel's like, it would be awful. He would start losing skin function if we were able to bring him back. Not important. What's important is that maybe we can help him. Should a druid be here? As Sophia comes running down, there's a man who walks down, seems to be human, but his ears are more rounded off on the side. It's very weird. Where like ours are kind of rounded, his are like perfect circles on the side. As he comes running down, he has leather pants on that are all the way down, but he's not wearing any shoes, and he has a satchel that goes over his chest there as he comes down. He has long, best description I can give. We already have a Fabiork, but Fabio-esque hair that goes down. I can't see what it says. His chair as his head is down into the stool. As he comes walking down, he sees, starts putting his hands in. He says, "What? How did he get frozen? What did you do?"
I don't know. Ask our sheep.
What did you even? What is that an Aarakocra? God, his arms are so huge.
Mabel.
I don't know. Ask her.
Penguin.
Mabel's like, I didn't know what he was. I was going to ask if I could have some of his feathers when he came back. She says,
He's a penguin.
A what?
A penguin, and I pull penguin out of the hat.
He's one of me, sweet cheeks, as he talks to the druid there to the side, as he's like, sweet.
I'm gonna touch penguin.
As he slaps your hand away, he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Who are you? As he blows smoke into your face.
Your feathers feel so weird.
As he's like, hey, hands off the merchandise. What? Who the hell's this guy? Who's that guy? What? Why do you always bring me out when there's new people around without a little bit of warning?
A lot of stuff happened, Penguin. A lot of stuff.
As
Penguin, ana ataram team himatrano. Wachada atanuava.
Yep.
you, whoa. Where's Salt? I need to talk to Salt.
He's gone for a walk.
I need to talk to Salt as soon as he gets back. I have questions.
He went crazy.
I'm not a doppelganger, Penguin.
That was what I was gonna ask you. Are you sure? Roll a persuasion.
I'm pretty sure.
We have had an extra party member though, apparently the whole time.
15.
15. Wait, hold on. Did you actually eat something? Is that what happened? You just...
I have no idea what happened.
Mabel's like, it was a phoenix feather. It was one of my feathers.
Oh, it apparently was a phoenix feather.
I'm watching you. As he's looking at Team. As the druid leans over, he says, you might want to pluck one of his feathers now if I were you. As Mabel says, okay. And she pops a feather off of Herc.
The frozen one?
Yeah, it's kind of frozen, but she sticks it in her pouch onto the side. Herc feels nothing, obviously, but everyone does kind of give her a look as she looks up. What, he said this might be the last chance, as the druid says, truly it may be. I've not the skills of a cleric as you're looking for. I cannot reincarnate or revive someone. I can only reanimate them. Or not animate. Reincarnate them. There's not a good word for it. He will not be himself when he comes back. And it will take me a long time.
Honestly,
How long? Like 10 minutes? We've got a while.
I will need a few weeks, one to gather materials, but he will come back. I can help him.
Well, I think that's all. If we can't do the other thing, then, I mean, I'm sure he would appreciate at least not being dead. So, I mean, I'm about it. I know you don't have consent from him. I mean, he is kind of in. The team's gonna kind of like shake the body, and he's like, he's dead.
Do you know? Do you know? Truly, this will be a horrendous process for him. Do you know if he would want to come back? He will come back, and he will be fine, but he will not. He can come back as you, or you, as he points hands at all of you. He would not come back as a bird.
What would happen to me if he came back as me?
No, like a small rat folk.
I like being me.
I'm sure anything is better than, well, I mean, depending on where he went when he died. I don't know. But it's kind of hard to ask him when he's, and Team's gonna poke the body again, so it kind of shakes a little bit. He's dead.
Is he kind
of hard to ask him?
It's like a stiff board on the table there. Herc kind of rolls back and forth before finding a spot. Says, okay, I have a convent in the forest to the north. I only came in for supplies. I will bring some of my friends here and we'll take his body to the north and see what we can do. I make no promises, as I will speak to my elders and see if they would allow this in the first place. But I'll see what I can do.
Oh. Do you need assistance bringing him there?
He goes over and he shakes Herc's icy body on the table too. He says, no, I think I'll take him. He comes over and he puts his hands together and he bows to you. He says, Fern, nice to meet you. I don't speak your tongue, but you speak common, and so I will continue in that manner. I can carry him to the forest, and I shall return in a fortnight.
We will be here to greet our new friend.
He is a member, you said, correct?
Pretty sure.
Do you actually know, or are you deceiving? Do you
I have no
think that he
idea.
is? Okay. But you are saying that you're sure, so roll a deception on that.
Okay.
Wait, didn't he have a group on silver? Bronze. Silver. No?
Sophia did.
The
that was the
guard
bard.
did.
Yeah.
Oh.
Deception. That's a 10.
10. Okay. I rolled a 4. So,
Yeah.
as Fern says, okay, then I will help him. I do what I can for the guild. Please remember this as he looks over to Sophia. She shakes her head in agreement. Before Fern steps back from you all, before suddenly you hear him retch forward as if about to vomit before his back begins to grow. Before he stands above you all, a giant silverback gorilla, knuckles on the ground as he walks over. You hear kind of his underjaw out as he picks up Herc and throws him over his shoulder. Luckily, he's already in a U-like shape as he throws it over on his back. He pauses for a moment before he comes over to Tehm with big gorilla nostrils flaring. As Tehm, he dwarfs you even before he walks over to the door frame. He has to kind of slide his way out. He actually has to stop and throw Herc's body out the door as you hear kind of a as Herc kind of like a horseshoe rolls outside.
Gently, please. Gentle.
You hear, "Ooh," as the gorilla goes out the door and closes the door behind as what must be a giant gorilla lands on the roof of the building or begins climbing as you hear loud thuds on the outside of the stone as if he is going to climb his way across the rooftops here within Novigrad. Briefly to Salt. Salt, are you doing anything besides going to get her glasses?
I'm doing my own theme music now. No, I'm just going to go grab the glasses. I will quickly look at how the catnip has affected everyone, and then I'll come back with
As
the
you
glasses.
Unlock the door, not a problem. You set the lock. As you close the door behind, you look over. You see Gorf like an ostrich with its head in the sand. Gorf's butt sticks up in the air, his head buried beneath the catnip. But you do see the catnip kind of move up and down with the bellows of his breaths. He seems to be alive at the very least.
He's alive.
Before
Okay, that's all I care about, if he's alive or not.
Roll an
If he's dead,
investigation.
then I have to try to make sure that it's not my that
Right.
did it.
like wipe my fingerprints off.
Exactly. 21.
21. You go searching through her drawers, trying to find glasses of some sort, pulling them out. You notice that there's quite a lot of valuables in here as you're searching through these drawers, but you focus just on the glasses. You find a small case, a wooden case that you open up, and you see 2 Coke bottle-esque glasses, very circular and rimmed. As you close the case, pocket it. Heading out?
Yep. I'm determined on this one piece at the moment. I'm trying to keep my head as focused as possible.
Sounds good. Salt. You begin to feel a rummaging in your pocket on your belt to the side as something that you stowed away recently must smell and recognize home as it tries to wriggle free.
I bring into being my ethereal tail to wrap around it and open it up.
You open the bag to let it out?
Yep.
Okay. As you do so, you pop it open. As the little lemur-esque creature with the super long rat-like tail jumps out and looks around, he looks at you and kind of scutters away just a little bit on the bar there that is the central shopkeep counter before he scutters away and looks at you.
So the ethereal tail will wrap around him again. I said, no, come back. Come on.
As he kind of, against his will, floats towards you, begins like patting at the tail. He doesn't have any claws to speak of.
We could be friends. I might need friends. I don't know if I've got friends. Come on. And I pat him a little bit, and I point to the pouch, and I go, "What do you eat?"
Roll an animal handling.
Oh, that's a good roll. +1, 19.
19. He looks over and he's trying to squirm away from you. You see his arms like reach towards a small jar on the countertop there. The jar has a bone on it, similar to like a dog treat jar.
I will grab the jar.
You open it up and there's a mixture of different treats in there. Looking inside, you're not sure which one would be for him. This would be for somebody who knows what treat to use. But he tries to climb his way into the jar.
So, yep, I'll let him come up to the jar and grab whatever he can, and then I'll pull him back out what he's got in his hand.
As he gets into the jar, he tips it over. Much of the things fall out. Small berries that seem to have been hardened or dried fall out. But he grabs what looks to be, it's kind of slimy. You wouldn't exactly call it appetizing. But it looks to be like the equivalent of a cookie with caramel-coated bananas baked into it. As he picks it up, and it's like as big as his head. As he looks over it, and he like puts his mouth like, "Can I bite it?" Like,
I would like nod my head, pat his head, and go for it. And look to see if there's any other one of those cookies in the jar.
He begins nomming at it as he sits there and eating it, like going around like a little typewriter spool, going all the way around this cookie thing, eating the edges first. As you look inside, there are a few of these things inside there if you'd like to grab them.
Yeah, I'll grab them, and then when he's eaten, let's say about a quarter, I'll take it back off him as well.
Okay. You grab 3 other ones, so you now have 3 and a quarter of those banana cookies. As you point back to the pouch, as he reaches for the cookie, like asking for more of it.
And I'll be like, "Later, jump in the pouch, and I'll get you a cookie later."
Roll an animal handling again.
My good rolls are going to fail sometime soon. But not today. 19 + 1 is 20.
Solid. As he looks at you, kind of like a trained monkey, as he runs over to the pouch and jumps in for sticking his head out. He like points at the cookies. You're like, later. He cinches out and under.
I chop off a little bit more and put it into the pouch before closing the pouch.
As you do so, you hear kind of like a high-pitched squeak, what you can tell to be happiness, before you cinch up the thing and cover it with your coat. Okay. You head on over to the door. Look one time back at Gorf over there, seeming to still be fine, before you close the door and lock it back up with your tail. Before you look at your tail, a little bit distrustful before you... Seems to be obeying you now as you walk back over towards the inn. As you're walking by the inn, you see a gorilla holding Herc climb on top of the roof and jump from one building to the next. You're thankful that nobody else is out at this time. You see a few people on the street that you kind of nod to before you head into the building.
No. I've just seen my hero getting carted off.
True.
Hey, what are you doing with my hero?
Let's see. Does he pay attention? He does not with his 2 perception roll.
All right, I'm going to run back to the inn to figure out what the heck happened to everyone and why they let him take it, and let them know that he's been taken. And I take... Yeah, a lot of takens in that one.
Salt, as you burst back into the door, pause it there for but a moment, okay? As the group, you all see Salt rush in through the doorway. Pause there, as I want to set a scene for you all real quick. As out in the streets of Novigrad, walking alone is a young man, looking around with a list in his hand as he flips through, scrolling through. Damn it. Sits out on the curb in front of the Red Wagon Inn. You scratch off a name. It says Cora Crucians down at the bottom of your list, young man. Before you scroll down further onto this piece of paper, we're at the very bottom of a long list of around 100 organizations. It says the Red Wagon Inn. as you look up at it and go, all right, well, I guess that's my only choice, before a gorilla holding a giant emperor penguin thing runs out of the inn, climbs up the top of it, and begins rushing off before a small rat boy says, "Hey, where are you going with my hero?" before running into the inn as quickly as possible. Before... Jakey, might you describe Gideon for me?
So Gideon is a lanky human. He's like 5'5", this little tiny boy. He's wearing an oversized pink knit cardigan, and he is covered in bags and baubles. He's got like a large backpack and a satchel on his side. He's got like different flasks that are all like clearly full of water. One of them says, "Oh, don't forget to hydrate, mom." He's wearing these like leather pants and like big leather boots, and he has like a very shallow face, large round Coke bottle glasses, and this like thick mane of this like blonde hair with like pink and blue streaks in it. And he's holding a notebook that he just like looks over through, double checks the Red Wagon Inn thing, and then flips. And as he's flipping, there's signs of these detailed charcoal medical drawings that look just very articulate. They all have lots of notes. He looks back at the building he was just at, sighs, and then closes it, and he starts to walk.
As with Jakey walking in, something that I'm excited to announce that I talked to Jakey about beforehand, but this is also a surprise for the rest of the cast, as we had talked about this. Chat, welcome to the newest permanent member of the Red Wagon Inn cast, and Jakey's new character, Gideon.
Wow! Jake, when you, in the chat when you were like, "I'm here for a good time, not a long time," I was about to be like,
I was like,
Did you see what I did there?
You thought I would just let Jakey sit there and be dead the whole time? No, Jakey is a
Yes,
permanent...
Brian,
No, that's fair.
Blanky boys
That's fair.
forever, Jakey. Blanky boys forever.
This is how Jake guest stars.
yeah,
Jake guest stars and then takes over the show.
That's what it is.
true.
Coming for DM next, Rybo.
That's what it, you know what? All right, I'll play the next
Every
Emperor
episode
Penguin.
is a Jakey one shot, so he has to make a new character.
Every single time. That's his role.
I just am a
Don't
red
get
shirt every
attached.
episode. I Wilhelm scream once. I'm
Yeah.
dead. And I come back and I'm like, "Hey everyone, it's me again." Like the Dwight Schrute thing when he turns around and has different wigs on.
Right.
You know?
The impossible girl.
This is my new character, Hercules. My brother's name was Hercules. He talks so much about you all, you don't really need to introduce yourself to me, and I've always wanted to follow in his footsteps. So it's basically, I wouldn't have to explain anything. I'm pretty much caught up. Let's just continue.
My next character is Achilles. Then I've got Odysseus. I've got nothing but Greek mythology names. Started with
Then-
Hercules.
and then
Got it.
luxury cars is last names, right? That's what you said
That's what
last
it is.
episode.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm now Achilles Ferrari. Next, when I die, I will be Odysseus Mustang.
Odysseus. Oh, that's a dope name.
It is actually really good.
But surprise to the rest of the cast, as Hercules we knew would only exist for 1 or 2 episodes, the permanent character of Gideon, as Jakey is now a permanent member of the Red Wagon Inn cast. He will be here on Tuesday nights with us moving forward, and I am ever so excited. Jakey, don't tell your class right away. Let's let it slowly be revealed.
Oh, I have no class. I'm just a giant nerd.
That's fair.
All we have is class. I think your audio might be popping a little bit. Like
My audio?
crackling.
Yeah.
Is that happening?
It's Catty Crackle.
I don't.
Is that making a loose connection or something?
Let me check.
It usually has it before we start.
Try and turn it on and off
Am I
again?
the Rybonator right now?
Yes,
Almost.
you're getting that one.
Sort of, kind of. You're just kind of poppy.
Am I still the Rybonator?
There we go.
Okay, beautiful.
No. Oh, go again.
I don't know. My mic sounds nice. Check 1.
It's still poppy.
Yeah.
Ah,
so nice.
beautiful. I don't know how to fix it. Is it like
I don't know.
too distracting to continue?
A little bit.
Oh, okay.
It's the worst. We have to
It's
end.
not. It's not great. If we can,
we
it's worth
announce
it.
Jakey staying with us and then
We'll
just in the
let chat
stream.
run the rest of the stream.
That's fine. Does this sound
What could go
better?
wrong?
I think so.
Yeah.
My mic sounds nice. Check 1. My mic
yeah,
sounds
Yes.
nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Okie
Those are
doke.
the smooth filter tones I'm here for.
That's what we're here for, right?
Hello.
As Gideon, you seeing this giant ape and this rat folk run out of and into the Red Wagon Inn, you're, do I really have to do this? It's the last name on the list as you go into the inn. Assault, as you come rushing in like, what are they doing to my friend?
They a giant ape. Dingo stole him. Oh my god, guys, what's going on? Where's Herc?
Well, the druid, he's taking him to go reincarnate, I think.
There
he
was
said.
no
Is that what he
druid. It
said?
was like a giant, crazy thing.
Oh yeah, it was the druid. He turned into a gorilla. I might even be able to do that now.
Gideon, you walk
I cannot
into
do
a
this.
dragonborn with wings. Inside the Red Wagon Inn, a small group huddled around a table here. 2 dwarves on their own at a table, a young maiden in gray and whites with long, straight brown hair. 2 rat folks, one in circus attire, one in circus thief's attire. Leonin in Greek apparel with golden shoulder pads. A dragonborn with wings and what could only be described as scantily clad, as you did not originally have flesh. You're mostly in almost like what is an Egyptian loincloth at this point, and shoulder pads, stands next to a
Ladies?
table.
I do the whole thing where I go to like try to talk to somebody, but everyone's walking around doing stuff. So I'm just like, excuse, could you talk? Okay. Hello. Could I talk to? Okay. Are you in? No. All right. I'm going to sit down. This is interesting. All right. And I just sit at a table while everyone just like, and he keeps trying to do the whole. I'd really like a drink. No. Okay. I've got my book. I will start reading, and I will just wait.
You're trying to get Sophia's attention, but they're basically, this whole group is talking back and forth like, so tell me what happened, as Salt, you bring over Mabel's glasses. You're like, that was great, but here you go. Mabel's, thank you. I'm not part of this group, but it seems that he needs service. And honestly, we're all alive, and so that's something to account for. That's a very good thing, as Sophia says.
Well-
I'm sorry. Someone died recently, young man. Don't mean to ignore you, but I guess it's fixed now. Can I help you? Are you a member?
No, I do I need to prove something that I'm a member? I don't have anything with me now.
No, if you're not a member, that's fine. You pay to drink here if you're not a member. Are you looking for? What do you need?
I would love a tall glass of water, and I would just like maybe some snacks if you have some crackers and cheese or something. That would be very nice. Thank you.
Sophia, without saying a word, walks like, that's what he interrupted us for. No, this is great. I love it when visitors come in. Kind of says to herself there. It's under her breath.
Like home.
It's under her breath. Not many people can hear it. However, Gideon, you do catch just a bit of it with your, what would be your perception.
Can I say what my passive perception is?
If you already have it, you totally can.
It's 21.
Did you go for it? I knew you'd
Yes.
go for it. I'd never
My
let the
passive
DM hide
perception is
anything.
21, and my passive
Yes.
investigation is also 21.
My dude.
Smart kid.
With the speed of Hercules and his nicheness in that avenue, why did I not expect something similar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a smart boy.
Okay,
The
Sherlock.
observant boy.
You definitely heard it then.
I just once again just do the whole. This is just like home. I feel very. Oh God.
Before Sophia goes into the back, as she points a finger to you and says, "Don't leave anywhere yet. I have questions, please."
Okay.
Before going back to the kitchen for a bit, leaving you, Mabel, and this new man sitting alone at the table nearby you all, who's just kind of looking around, wide-eyed.
Hello.
He looks behind him as if you're talking to someone else, like expecting that fully, and then Hello. How are you?
Honestly, I'm stressed the fuck out, but hey, come join the table. Who are you? We are new
He
here
mutters
too.
to himself. He's stressed. He just invited me to socialize. I don't think he knows who's stressed in this situation. And I get up, and I like, I don't think I've gotten my stuff yet, so I just like awkwardly pick up all the books and things I've already laid out, and I put them down at the table. And like, I'm trying to do the thing where I'm like not taking up space, but everywhere instantly his stuff just pours out across. He's got like charcoal sticks. He's got some like rolled out candles that are disorganized. He's got like 4 different books. A couple of them are just like discarded titles. And then he's got like sketchbooks open, and he's like just about to read something.
This is a tavern, not a library.
Oh, yes, no, I caught that. Sorry, I just like to have a drink while I read. As the library here, it smells like, what's the most polite way is horse pee. It doesn't smell that bad in here.
How?
Sorry, Jackie.
Go.
Does he have any patches?
Oh God.
That didn't take long.
Try
That was
it.
a record.
Try it.
He has so many pouches on him. A huge
Wow.
backpack filled with gear. You can see it almost overflowing. This man comes prepared.
I'll keep an eye on him.
A drink. How old are you?
I would happen to be the
Legal drinking age, thank you very much. And he starts patting down for like ID, thinking that's like what you're doing.
Wait, this is. I'm sorry. Do you work here? Because I.
I'm just pulling your leg.
Oh yes. Ha 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 ha. That was hilarious.
Sorry.
Thank you. Insight check. I'm just kidding.
I already don't trust him.
Do you think this is the right time to be socializing with strangers?
I mean, honestly, yeah. Why not? I just died. I just came back to life. Like,
Oh, so you're the one who died. Well, congratulations on being back. It's very nice to have you, whoever you are. Could I have a name? I have never met a resurrected person.
And he opens up a sketchbook and he's starting to draw a very like detailed, exact drawing of like Tim's face right now.
I'm thrown off by this because I would assume I can look down and see what he's drawing, and it's not my face. Like, it's my face, but it's not my face.
Not what you recognize.
And it takes a few moments for me to get any more words out.
Is sorry, it says Hercules, so I think that right under your name. Sorry, I was just looking at it. Gideon, he just mumbles over, very akin to how you mumble, so you give him a moment to collect his thought as he's pauses. As Xenia somersault, very not akin to Team to ever really stumble.
I'm so sorry. أنا ترى تيم هيمتراني وخدعت النواوة. And he points to Team. Or
I'm sorry,
to
could you spell
Anna.
that? Could you spell that
Yes,
phonetically, preferably?
It is T A R U M.
Okay.
This continues for some
then a
time.
hyphen.
Gideon, I need you to roll me a history check.
I can do that. Oh, I can do that. That's an 18.
18. The language he speaks is not familiar to you.
Okay.
Well, it is very nice to meet you. Do you have a nickname by chance? Because I'm not going to lie, I'm looking at it, I've written it down phonetically, and I do not think I will be able to say this properly.
It is Team, and this here is Xenia, and this is Summer. And Salt.
Yeah, okay. Summer and Salt. Okay.
For the first time, you three would see an expression on Team's face. There's a smile that creeps up on there as he's like, and this is Ata. And I'm going to have Ata get up on the table.
This beast of a skeletal cat, dog, you're not sure, but with skeletal wings jumps up and begins growling at you. And growling right in your face. You kind of startled back for a second before he's like,
Hey, nice to meet you. It's so good to possibly have a new friend. Our last one did not do so well. But that's okay. You're such a, he seems like a good guy. I'm just trying to be positive as, again, all you hear nothing but gurgles and growls.
He likes you.
Oh, well, that's... Wow. Oh, sweet God. Thank you.
Salt holds his hand out. It's like in a handshake.
He does that thing where he's like, he goes like clearly like this has been a while since he's been offered a handshake, and then takes the handshake and he almost cries a little bit, and then he shakes your hand.
I shake my hand and go, I am Salt Hercules Von Trapp. And this is my
Salt
sister,
Hercules
Summer Von Trapp. And I keep an eye on his eyes when I'm handshaking to see if he's very observant or not.
You can roll a perception for that.
Wow, that's a 3, because I don't do perception.
3. You're more just like, whoa, hold on. Why is he almost crying? What? You haven't even started talking to him yet. That normally happens after like an hour.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
So you have a lot of fancy things on you
3,
there.
you're muted.
Wow, you got bags.
Drinks. Drink. Does anyone want a drink?
Please.
Oh my
see.
God, yes.
Hey.
I'll Mabel cleans off her glasses. I'll take some penny whistle tea if they have some.
This has been the first time I've been invited to a table, so I will gladly contribute.
And he drops a gold piece on the table.
Someone picks it up and walks to the bar.
Summer, I would like to try wine.
You got it, bud.
As
Wine team.
you all are talking, Summer, you're up at the bar. That dwarf from before, the old man, comes over and says, hey, he gets right next to you, Gideon, and his old man dwarfish smell is palpable as he gets right nearby. He kind of leans over you, puts his hand on your shoulder, but he looks to Team. He says, hey, you're the one that came back to life, right? Is what I heard you saying.
Yes.
Right.
I assume so. I don't know. It's all a little fuzzy.
Right, well, I wager that deserves a round of drinks on us.
Team stops. He takes off his pin and he stabs himself with it, and there's blood.
Oh, gee, hey, gosh, what are you doing?
He looks at the pin. Does the pin do anything now that there was actually blood?
Which pen?
The adventurer's pin.
Oh, the
The
pin.
one that you needed blood?
I thought you said P-E-N. Sorry.
Oh, gotcha.
I was like,
stab.
Yeah, I was like, what is your problem? I don't even get
I'm a
this roleplay
masochist
reference.
now.
It's like,
Yeah, blood alcohol content. Let's go.
sorry.
You just smelt the wine. You didn't even drink it.
As you take a small pin, stab it into your side. Yes, very different than what had happened before. You see the particles, purple, like your tattoos that were on your bones, which are no longer there, slide into the pin. As Gideon, ever observant that you are, you recognize Adventurers Guild pins. You've seen those before. Those are not uncommon. But what did he just do to them? It's your first day, all right? Well, then 2 rounds on me and my
Wait.
friend.
Team's gonna interrupt him one more time. Is there a mirror? I have not seen myself in. It's been so long.
How long were you dead for, son?
Well, from what I have been told by a few scholars I have met, I died roughly about 1,000 or 2 years ago.
Oi.
Then was resurrected, and then it was alive for another 104 years, and then I just died today, and then came back.
Well, you should
My
know.
life is pretty complex.
I feel like if you died today, you should know or memorize what you look like before. But either way, day 1, let's get you some more rounds. I don't have a mirror on me. I'm sorry.
I actually happen to have a mirror in my... And he reaches through his stuff,
with all of his junks, and I do have a small hand mirror, so I like slide that. Like I do the thing where it's like slid down across, like face down on the table, so it's like a dramatic reveal.
Slide over. Gideon looks a
I
little
take note of
giddy.
which pouch that comes out of.
Do you pull it out of your backpack or a pouch on your side?
Definitely out of my big old backpack.
Okay. As you slide the mirror upside down over to Team, you do actually, you're kind of like, thank you for leaving it upside down. As you pause for a second before. You've only, even when you were alive before, you'd only ever seen your reflection in water, as I had no needs for mirrors. So, flip it up. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
And this is when I freak out and run out of the inn. Gods, I'm ugly. Hey, that's a 14.
You kind of recoil for a second, not at any sort of like ugly or anything like that, but just at that's me before you take a look at it. But you have a steel will enough from your fights to not let this affect you. It's something you'll think on, but not enough to drive you mad.
You know what the one thing I do miss?
Possible.
He's gonna look over to Xenia and say, the one thing I do miss already are my tattoos. We should find someone who can give me new tattoos.
Yeah, you already look so different. I didn't even notice at first, but I'm sure we can find somebody.
It's either that or Team's gonna pull out an arrow and focus his magic energy. Do the tattoos come out from under my skin?
As you focus on your magic energy, your wings begin to glow purple.
This is new.
Before you scare yourself.
I'm gonna put the arrow back, put the bow back. I'm confused.
As Summer, you're waiting. Suddenly, Sophia comes around the corner with a plate of crackers and a small mug of water. As she looks over at him before you stop her, you're like, drinks? The dwarf also says, hey, your money's no good here. As Gideon did give you the gold coin, Summer, you pocket it back. As money's no good here. You all should drink for free, but I'll pay for the new guy. Ales all around. Actually, you know what? I'll just go ahead and pay. How about I give you some fire water?
Wine was
What?
the wine. If you have any, something fishy to eat, and maybe just some breads. I don't. It's kind of a wake situation.
All of that. I'll happily take care of it, Sophia. As she's like, all right, just give me a moment. I give this boy his crackers. As, she walks over, Gideon, as you see the Dragonborn observing his self in the mirror, as you suddenly are greeted by a plate of what is the equivalent of like saltines and slices of like Kraft cheese. This is not like ideal cheese from the wedge or anything like that. It's very, very thin, very, very just minimal cheese. It'll kind of get the job done. But this small plate of them, enough to where you could get full on them if you wanted to get full on saltine and, Kraft cheese. You could. And a small mug of water in front of you.
I just start like doing like little making sandwiches and seeing this like intense moment of like, wow, you look so different. Oh, your tattoos and stuff. And he's just like eating, but he's like eating just a little bit too loud, where he's doing the thing like, now continue, pretend I'm not even here.
Mabel sneaks a cracker off your plate.
Mabel, we had to talk to you about. I mean, I don't know if this is the right place to do it, but the menagerie. Are you taking? Do you take? Do you foster creatures?
Well, yes. I have to be more specific. I've been burned before. What do you mean?
Oh, like I said, maybe he is not the right place, but we were coming to look for you for a very specific reason. I have some eggs that need caring for. I
Oh.
don't know. Yeah,
Absolutely. I have eggs of many kinds. What kind of creature?
they're big. I want to lean in as close as I can and whisper, "Dragon." Dragon eggs.
Roll a stealth roll.
Doo, doo, doo. 16.
So Gideon, you do hear her whisper dragons over to Mabel as she goes, "Oh, well, keep them. Obviously, you have them hidden somewhere. Keep them hidden. You'd have them snatched up so quick. Just keep them hidden. But yes, I could take care of them for you. Are you wanting to just house them with me, or are you giving them up as an adoption for a home?"
I'm not sure at the moment. I promised that I would keep them safe, but I don't know how to care for them, and I don't know. I don't know. Is that something I can learn to do? How long will they be inside for?
I'd have to see the eggs to know. It could be hours. It could be years. They're very fickle creatures.
Do you mean that they could hatch at any minute?
Oh, well, it depends on how long they've been eggs. But they could also never hatch at all. It kind of depends. Oh my gosh. The rock eggs. The rock
No,
eggs.
There was 3
no.
of them, so weren't there? Yeah.
I must return there tomorrow. Obviously, today has been far too much, but I must return to get those eggs. I didn't... I'm sorry to have caused you any trouble. I worried for the Rock's health.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
not
kind of worried
himself.
for it right now.
But obviously, that doesn't matter anymore, but... I don't know. I can talk about this later, but... Yes, I could take a look at your eggs and determine from there.
That would be fantastic. I can't carry them with me at the moment. I don't want them to not have a home. Their mother is otherwise occupied.
Well, why don't you bring them by the shop sometime? Tomorrow. Would that work?
Yeah, that's okay. I can do that.
Okay. Well, great. We'll work out some sort of deal from there. As she looks over and she says, I hate to pry. She looks to you, Gideon. I hate to pry. I have been on a mountain for a week, and I thought I would be there for a day. Would you, as she, without waiting for an answer, grabs a handful of the saltines and some of the cheese, and just says, "Thank you so much. Thank you," and just starts eating it. You're like, "This is mine."
He does that, and then he does the whole and he pushes the whole plate over. And he, from his bag, reaches in and he pulls out a ration, which is just a banana that he slowly starts unpeeling and just starts eating it. But he's trying not to make eye contact with anyone uncomfortably.
You pull
because he doesn't want to be do the whole weird look, eat banana thing. So he's just staring at the table, being like,
This banana is very good.
As all of you see him pull a banana, a very foreign food from the lands that you're in. And so he must have brought that from some great distance. As you look at him, suddenly Gideon, and all eyes are on you as you have, for a brief moment, you're like, I have to do the thing. I have to eat a banana in front of people. This banana is very good. As Mabel says, "Thank you." As you can see crackers crumbling all over her face. Thank you. You have your own thing then. We're good. You go to grab your water. She takes it and takes a big glug and sorry. Oh, I just needed something filling. At about that time, that's when Sophia comes over with several small wooden goblets and a large bottle of wine to split between everybody. It seems to be larger than normal. You're not sure that this is any sort of good brand of wine, but it is large enough to be split between everybody at the table here as Sophia pops open the cork and begins pouring into all of them. sliding it over to everyone. She has a couple extra cups there before she sets the wine down. There's a few. You kind of offer the dwarves, like, come have a drink. And they're like, no, we have to get going. But congrats on your first day and congrats on your new life.
Thank you.
As one of them helps the other one. The one talking to you seems to be the more spry of the two, as both dwarves kind of do the old man shuffle out of the door there as Tehm. For the first time in a long, long time, there's wine in front of you.
How does it smell?
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Turns out I absolutely hate wine. That's a natural 20.
Nat 20. Okay. As it is intoxicating in the good way. The first time you've had a smell of anything that reminds you of home. This is, this is swill. This is not good wine, especially compared to the wine you used to have when you were alive. But this is wine, man. This has been over 1,000 years as you... Oh, the first sip that hits your tongue, it tastes as sweet as sugar on your mouth. This is not a sweet wine, but having not tasted anything, this is sublime.
Team's gonna set down the glass that he just poured and grab the bottle.
Team grabs the bottle from the rest of the table.
He's gonna hold it close.
Like you hold Penguin McQueen sometimes, Summer. He holds the bottle. You're muted, by the way, Summer.
Muted. Team, I was gonna order porridge, but I thought maybe the first time you wanted to eat that, you might want to do it with Robert. So,
I appreciate that. I don't know. I'm willing to try everything. And Team's gonna see the look on Summer's face. He's gonna set the bottle of wine down and put his hand on the shoulder. Everything will be okay.
I'm gonna crawl up into his lap, which he has now, and give it a finger.
Gideon sits up and looks at them and goes, you said you want to try everything. Well, you've been nice to me so far. And he's going to flip through his notes and his bag. And he goes, okay, everything. So if I take a little bit of this, and I'm going to read the exact way. What's the... Oh, boy. He takes all of his stuff off the table and clears it, like, very awkwardly, even pushing his stuff on the ground. And he starts wreathing his hands, and he goes, I don't worry, trust me. And while he twists his hands, this green, iridescent energy comes from his fingers, and it forms like a clock shape, and then he pushes this inside of it, and plates appear on the table, and in reverse, eaten food starts to refill itself and cover, and I use the spell Create Food and Water. I cast and make, where's the exact description? 45 pounds.
45 pounds of food.
I mean,
45
said
pounds.
everything.
Yeah, exactly. 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water are fill up in containers, and just enough food to fill 24 hours of people. So it is everything. There is just like lobster, there's apples, there is bananas, there is like, he just like creates this just menagerie of things, but the way it forms is just in reverse. And then he sits back down and he goes, that is the experience if you invite Gideon to the table. And he sits back and then he's just like waits, and he's like, oh god, they hated it so much.
Why are you here, Mr. Pouchman?
Oh yes, and he pulls out a sheet of paper and he goes, I don't actually have anything written for this, but I'm doing it. Hello, my name is Gideon Tobias. I am going on an expedition because I want to research anomalies. I am going around and I need yours, and I look and I point to Salt. Yes, yours, support, because this is a project of mine I have been working on for a very, very long time. This involves lots of research. You might be asking, what kind of research?
What kind of research?
I'm so glad you asked. Well, you see, this research involves me going to the foreign regions of the world, potentially looking for things like such as anomalies or differences where time may be disrupted, or I may be looking for such things as creatures that have been altered and affected, or different types of magic, things that you might not be able to describe, or that may baffle your mind or make you say, wow.
Wow.
Yes, so please support my cause. If you can, either monetarily or sponsorship, whatever you can provide, it would be very helpful. This is the last spot on my list. Please, God, I'm going a little off script.
Take a point
Salt
so
just-
that you have a
it
point
just goes-
again. Absolutely wonderful.
Like Salt's just no speak.
For once, Salt doesn't speak.
Wow. I can imagine both
Xenia says that out
and
loud.
Summer just like whip their heads over at Salt like, the fuck this guy just do?
And then 20 seconds later, oh, so what you want to do is like you want to see dragons and giant elephants and things. And I know, what about gods? Have you seen gods? And we got oh my god, volcanoes with upside down holes and everything else. Oh, we saw these giant birds and we fly over. And then we got teleport across. And there's this man with a really, really long beard and breeze explode and everything else. Oh, we've got lots of anomalies. And is that what an anomaly? We usually call them strange things down under.
That is exactly what I'm looking for. You hit the nail on the head. I'm looking for things that are strange things wherever you can find them, anomalies, differences, things that it could blow your mind. Poof, I'm trying to fill books. I have lots of books. I want to fill them all.
Xenia, Summer, Salt. Roll me a history or religion, whichever is higher.
I need pence. I didn't have to worry about pence.
It depends.
While he says that, he reaches into his bag and gets a spare pair of pants and gives it to him. My mom always makes me pack extra. Don't you worry, my friend.
You find the most starched pair of pants you've ever seen. You have to unfold them. They do not unfold on their own. They are starched and creased.
Thank you. You are so kind.
Pleated. It's the whole shebang.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And Summer gets up awkwardly off Tim's lap and lets him put pants on, I guess.
He was wearing like a loincloth, but
Yeah, a loincloth, but
Salt kind of looks like at this pouchy man, giving him I got your team, and then I pull out a tiny little pair of pants as well, trying to go, here, team.
Don't think these will fit me anymore.
Sure, you can find a use for them.
Haha. I shall return. The team's gonna go try and find a bathroom or something.
as team, you head to the bathroom. Xenia, Somersault, what were your rolls?
9.
Oh, wow.
20.
That's 20. Summer, as you and Salt travel the world, you pay a little bit more attention than Salt does. Salt has mostly paid attention to the pockets that people have, but you pay attention to the stories that people tell. What Gideon is describing sounds quite familiar to you. You've heard of a group. They call themselves a religion. From the colonies of the Queen, from specifically the Time Scar. This Gideon fella seems to remind you of the time domain clerics that you've met there before, that study time anomalies across the planes and across the multiverse.
Yes.
Do I know what do they have any alignment at all, this group, or is it a variety of people? Are there people that I would have been frightened of, or just kind of mysterious?
Definitely mysterious. They very much keep to themselves, but you've also heard tales of amazing wonder and tales of terrible horror in the wrong hands. As for chat to realize, a Time Cleric is a homebrew class that we made during Loreforge that will be in my book that is going to come out at some point. And it is a dope subclass, and Jakey is going to rock the Time Cleric subclass. So a custom homebrew subclass is what Jakey shall be playing moving forward.
As Team's walking away, he's I forgot I have to do this.
Has to breathe. Right. To pause it there, as it is past the 10 o'clock time, let's give away some of these little pills things of dice right here. Let's give away the 2020 set of dice.
Yeah.
So if you haven't done so yet, exclamation point LUD. We got maybe just a few seconds left. Get in your LUDs, and then we will do one more giveaway after this.
I was like, it's not end of the session yet. What's happening?
No, it ain't the end. We still got one more giveaway to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to win.
I wanna win.
Also, I'm
Going
going
through
through Doctor Who references. I can't wait to make
YouTube.
all of the puns as we go.
Doctor Who.
Anytime I heal someone, don't worry, I'm the doctor.
Oh,
Ryan, do
He's
you
gonna
remember
compete
when
for
you thought-
GFYs.
I was gonna say, Ryan, do you remember when you thought me and Salt were gonna have the competition for GFYs? No. It's gonna be Jakey. And Alex.
Jakey and Salt shall have this competition, and Bobo.
Jake, you have to stop entering the giveaways now.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, no, it's not official yet. It's not official yet. Let me win. Let me win. Give them to me. I need the click number rocks. I need them.
Oh God, that's Gideon.
Yeah.
I want to write the books.
All right, entries are closing, my friends. Closing, 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 close.
Boom. Who we got as the
Boom.
winner?
All right.
I say
let's
pillbox
see.
because it's in a little box of 2 D20s, so it's not just like a bunch of pills.
Hold on. It's freaking out on me again.
Wow, Bree.
Wah.
Hey,
One job.
yeah, just the one.
Just the one.
Do. This is me stalling because it's not what I call.
Well, let me go ahead and show the picture of what
I
you're going to
steal
win.
a pouch. No.
Boom. That's what you're going to win if you haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's going to flash it on the screen.
Oh.
What
I can
gorgeous
stall.
eyes.
only 100 minutes.
What'd you
All
say?
right, all right.
We gotta find a tattoo artist.
Hey, there
Is that
we
the one you
go.
put there? Number 22.
Best Insider. That's gonna. Oh, Bast Insider, right?
I thought it said bastard cider. I was excited.
Bast Insider. Congratulations, you win these, and I will mail them off to you shortly.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on these 1 out of
Very
200
good, very
sets, or
good.
100 sets. So that's kind of cool. Awesome.
Are you gonna use those for the rest of the thing to do some interesting shit with?
If y'all
I mean,
get
stuff.
me to where we can do some interesting shit tonight, then yes, absolutely. I have some plans. Right. For the last set of giveaways, if you haven't seen it yet, so congratulations, Bast Insider. But if you haven't seen it yet, the Dicebound Kickstarter and the video that I put out last week looks awesome. These are the Dark Matter sets, handmade, so they're not mass-produced, and they're pretty darn dope. So make sure you enter for the last giveaway of the night. So make sure you do the exclamation point LUD again, even if you did it before. Once the giveaway goes live, don't do it just yet. Right. Back to the game then. So, Summer, you recognize the time domain cleric before you.
I'm gonna lean in a little closer, like grab a piece of like chicken leg or something off the plates, and kind of just look at him, a little bit more interested, but not say anything yet.
Xenia, Salt, Team, Mabel especially, now that you have conjured the best of food around them, or at least
I'm
a
putting on
large
pants.
menagerie. Yeah, Team, you are putting on fans, but the smell does fill your nostrils.
Oh yes.
You haven't had
Xenia-
like a meal that wasn't just porridge flavored like whatever you want in a while, so this is definitely interesting. Xenia?
Oh, no, her mouth starts to water and then she sees a banana and she gets really scared of it. And she like slaps it and just doesn't know what to do with it. And she just looks at it from like all angles. And just,
Xenia, roll me a quick perception check.
oh, 6 plus 6 is 12.
12. You're looking around at all this food before you look at the ground, and there's a cucumber on the ground as you jump up.
Oh god, no! She like jumps up and then all fours are stretched out and she like lands 10 feet away.
Xenia jumps up and lands on the table away. Gideon, you did not know that Leonin can jump that high. Definitely worth noting.
I do an exact drawing of like her stance, and she'd be like, "Wow, it's like she shaped her bone structure just to be able to." Impressive.
As Team, are you putting on the pants that he gave you?
Yeah.
He is
I
5
can't
foot
fit
5.
into the-
You are a big, tall dragonborn. You come out looking like you're wearing capri pants.
Okay.
and
I
they
can
are
dig it.
tight on you like skinny jean capri pants.
Oh,
But
if they're uncomfortable, then I'm gonna just take them off and just chill with the loincloth.
they're not uncomfortable. They're just skin tight.
Let it be known that Gideon is sewn into the seam, though, so he does see that while he's putting them on.
Like a tag on the back that your mother might have written in there to make sure that you don't lose them. It does say Gideon on the back seam.
Okay. I come back down. That's it.
Team comes
grab
back
a
down.
lobster.
Capri pants.
I like point at his legs, and then I point at him and go,
Smack on top of his head and mess up his hair a little bit. Thank you. This is nice.
"You are so welcome, thank you."
What is this? And he picks up the lobster tail. And it's like, this looks appetizing, maybe.
It's even better than your porridge, team.
I wouldn't know. I haven't tried my porridge. But I'll take your word on it. I've seen Robert's reaction to the porridge.
Xenia's gonna go around the table from where she was and then probably sit next to Team.
As you sit down with a myriad of plates around you, pretty much anything you could want or desire. It's not the best version of anything that you could want, but it is what you might want, as it is magically created. There are things that could make the best version. Conjure Food and Water, though, does give you what you want, though. What does everybody see that they choose to pick up from the table?
I've got a chicken bone, but it looks like a big turkey leg.
Just the bone?
And like a wing.
Okay, just making sure. I was like, I don't know. She's a rat folk. Maybe that's...
Not a wing.
Gotcha.
A leg.
Yeah, a chicken leg that definitely does look like a turkey breast, or not turkey breast, turkey bone, or turkey leg, from the state fair for her. Yeah.
What stuff is.
Pulls off and holds in front of her and starts nibbling away at. Salt, what do you see?
Crikey, I got a hawker. It looks like a lamb shank.
Ah, okay. I was like, explain for the Americans and the Canadians in the room.
And the Australian?
Oh, in the Australian. Okay, I didn't know if that was like an Australian thing. I was like, don't know what a harker is. It's probably Australian. As a lamb shank that he pulls up, because it's a lamb shank, it is twice as big as Summer's little chicken leg that he holds up there. Rare, cooked perfectly for a rat folk. Team, what do you see?
A lot of Egyptian-themed foods, so like shawarma and lentils and things cooked with coriander and things like that. Very fragrant foods.
As Team goes over and grabs a bit from each of the tables, and you actually kind of make a combination of the two of them, being that Gideon probably has not heard of this kind of food, but you see all the basic ingredients and the spices to kind of create it yourself. As you grab a few things, what would have been like tortillas, you basically turned into, enough to make like a shawarma setup there. Xenia, what are you seeing?
She probably sees like beef and meats. She's from the mountains, so she's not too familiar with seafood, so she's not sure how to approach it. But she'll stick with what she knows.
Xenia, in front of you, there is an entire, what would have been filet mignon, but it's the entire filet cooked in one big, like, giant log piece, where they cut off parts to actually make filet mignon. This is just one big filet of the beef cooked with various separations. It's on one big skewer. In between the beef is just what is the equivalent of like mushrooms and things that are kind of chopped up, almost making like a makeshift beef Wellington, but without any bread on this like little shish kebab for you that you hold up with two hands in front of you. Gideon, what do you see?
So there's lots of different things, but Gideon goes to the very center, which every time he casts a spell, it appears dead center, and he slides it in a kind of like messy paper round circular tray is a pie. It's got that kind of like like the way they do like the fold overlay, and it looks like it's a mixture of like cherry, raspberries, and it's got like little fork imprints, and there's a little heart cut out in the center of it. And he slides it to himself, cuts out like the tiniest little piece, puts it on a plate, and then pushes that plate back into the center and starts eating the whole pie with a spoon.
You slide one piece of the pie back before you grab under your arm and bring it over and set it back down. What is hot to the touch, you have to kind of hold it with your coat before you set it down. And out of your pocket, your personal spoon that you bring out to eat. It's your pie spoon. Before you begin digging away at a various fruit pie, as everyone goes about having a delectable meal. Mabel, at this time, she kind of points over to you and says, do you mind if, I don't know if you were saving these for leftovers or anything?
Oh, anyone, if you can fit it in your pockets, it's yours.
Oh, great. Sorry, I'm not with them. I'm with you, but I'm not with you. I just thought I'd ask. It's manners. It's manners. As she goes over, and she pours out a big pot of tea there in a large glass, and she just grabs a bowl of soup. It just appears to be plain tomato soup that's sitting there. You're like, I put that out to be filling. You can get something else. And she's like, no, this is good for me. She begins sipping on the spoon. You see Sophia, with your immense perception, sitting back at the actual bar part of the inn, reading with her book. And you can see her continually eye over at the food. And you can see her kind of do the licking her lips kind of thing, as if, oh, it smells so good. But she does not get up to get any food. But you all have a good meal, and as you do so, you kind of clear some space to be able to begin talking to each other before Penguin McCool walks over, and he's got himself a small little plate of all the various different fishes that he's set down on there. And by the time he's done, his belly looks round and almost distended as he like pats on it. He's like, oh, hey, I was meaning to talk to you actually. So, thank yous, by the way, as this little talking penguin, which you have never seen before, Gideon, says, hey, thank you, by the way, as he is smoking on a cinnamon stick, which you find weird, but suddenly smoke puffs out of the other end of the cinnamon stick. So, he said it. He said he's fine. He said he's not, we never came up with a code word, but a ganger, a DOOPILL.
A DGer?
Yeah, a DGer.
I don't
He said
know.
he's not.
I mean, this seems to be Summer's fault, but I'm not sure what she did.
Penguin McCool says, hey, now I'm meaning to talk to you, Summer. As Summer, you're in the middle of eating as Penguin McCool. Did you...
Yeah.
Your brother says this is your fault. What happened to our guy here?
My fault. Right. Yeah, he died, which was not especially my fault. And then we brought him back.
Can I overhear this conversation?
Oh, yeah. Penguin McCool's not a quiet guy.
I definitely stop him. I'm like, what do you mean, her fault? Look at me. I have skin. I have flesh. I am alive.
You're not my bony friend anymore, Team.
Yes, but Team's gonna pick up Salt and be like, but I can fall off of cliffs now, and I won't die. I can fight Spade. Well, I'll probably still die, but still, I can fight Spade now, and not have to worry about him destroying me. This is good.
This is weird.
Yeah, it's more weird.
But I will tell you, it is good. And I lean down to Summer and I say, and I thank you for this. I know this is not what you intended for it to happen, but I thank you.
I take a big gulp of wine and tear a bit of food off of the bone and say, yeah, if we want to talk about weird, how about you getting possessed by our sister? That's pretty fucking weird, right, Salt?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Everyone kind of tenses up at that. Like, whoa. What? Hold on. You mean Peppa?
That's the one.
She's gone. She's dead. It's nothing.
Apparently, apparently she's dead. That would have been lovely to find out. She's also living in that tail.
Can we go upstairs, Summer? Maybe
Whoa,
we can
whoa,
talk
whoa!
there.
You didn't tell her?
Couldn't. You know how much it would have destroyed her?
Well, I feel, you know what? I feel great. I don't think I want to go upstairs. I think I want to sit right here. I think I'm going to drink this wine. I think I'm going to eat this chicken.
Well, okay. So you remember the last time we were hanging out and you guys had that massive fight and and you know and you both said some really horrible things like we both wished you were dead and and I was just screaming trying to stop you guys from fighting and then Pepper stormed off and you were like good riddance and I was like no and I went to go after her and you stopped me and then we fought and then I left and chased her down. Well, when I finally found her, she had taken her own life. I tried. I saw blood everywhere. It was horrible. I tried to put it all back in. I couldn't. I looked around. There was nothing. There was and then I just grabbed her and I'm like no and then this feeling happened and I blanked out and then I came back to you and I didn't want to tell you that she had died because I knew you'd blame yourself. And so I told you she ran away and it's and then about a week or a month later my tail played up and that was about the same time that the little ethereal tail popped up, and I figured maybe that was like a reminiscence of my feeling for her. But then randomly something, and you know when I very rarely ever dropped something when I was juggling because my tail missed something or whatever. It felt like it had like its own little mind of its own, and I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to worry you, and I just kept strong because I know that you needed me to be strong because I know that it really everything hurted you in that regard, and we had to stay together because everyone had always left us, and so I just dealt with it, but it got worse, and then recently, and Penguin can back me up here. It was as if I wasn't even me, and I was and then it felt like it happened again today, and I'm not sure what to do, but I think she's still around somehow, and I don't want to tell you what this because I know I just want you to be happy, and I know this is really hard for you, and I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay.
Look, the little guy did what he thought was best. He had to tell somebody. I would have told you, but he made me not tell. I'm sorry. But look, now you know things can get better, right?
Yeah.
I'm scared. Well, I know you don't want to see me scared because you need a strong brother. I know this because everyone leaves us, and I'm going to be your strong brother, and I'm going to keep you safe.
It's all right. I guess. Yeah. It's fine. We're nothing's really changed. I guess I know now.
I don't know what to do.
Look, the little guy has good intentions. He does more for you than you know, Summer. Look, you can be a little shit sometimes, Salt, but I mean, it's all for good intentions. I don't know. I don't know. As Penguin kind of hops off the stool and goes to head over and grab more food, leaving you all to it. Summer, Xenia, Gideon, Mabel sitting there with her tea, all kind of eyeing the two rat folk. What's everybody doing?
I have a face full of shawarma right now.
I too am probably eating and being more into my food than usual because of what's happening.
Stress eating for sure.
I think seeing everyone like eating and seeing this conversation, because Gideon is like a stranger, he would get up like early in the conversation to not be rude and put his hands out and be like, this isn't appropriate that I'm hearing this, because he doesn't want to just be disrespectful. So he goes and sits back to where he was and kind of does the like, I'll wait till everyone's done, because it's clear you guys have stuff to talk about. But yeah, Gideon doesn't want to be intrusive. So yeah, he sits and gives the party a good distance. So even with this passive, he can't hear, because I feel like that'd be, yeah, for him, he'd just feel very disrespectful.
Mabel will join you as you do this to kind of leave the party to talk, as it were, as she grabs her tea and joins you at a corner booth, as she kind of gives you the, my words, that's, they have a lot to deal with, for allowing the party to continue. Xenia, anything you're doing?
Just gonna look at the team.
Team's gonna look to the twins. Say, I don't know what happened in your past, nor is it any of my business. However, I am very appreciative of the two of you for being with us this entire time. You've risked your lives more than once for us. You are family, and I think at the end of the day, that's all that matters. You two are family to us. I love the three of you. Xenia already knows this, and of course you too, Atta. But yes. So no matter what is in the way, if there's something you two need to speak of in private, that is fine. We can go. I'm taking the shawarma with me though as I go. Because it is fucking delicious. Oh, and this, and he grabs the bottle of wine.
Off the table. Xenia, you see Team get up, leaving the two rat folks to it to talk. Team, you go outside with your shawarma on a plate and rest of your wine to go sit down as Atta hops off the table and follows you outside.
I follow suit.
Xenia, you grab your food as well. Kind of give a nod to the twins to head outside. The party leaves you two alone at the table to discuss if needed.
Summer's just gonna go up to bed.
As everyone leaves, Summer also hops off her chair, goes up the stairs. Penguin McCool walks over as if he's going to follow her, but he looks back to Salt and kind of nods his head and comes and sits by Salt at the table there before Penguin McCool reaches up, reaching for a glass that he can't quite reach. Salt, before you tip over and slide it over to him, as there's a small bottle of whiskey that was conjured that Penguin McCool grabs, pours out, and then he hands it to you. Pours some for himself. You did what you had to do, kid.
Yeah. Shall we go to bed too?
I mean, it's afternoon, but I get it. I'm sure she's going to want to rest. Guys, Team came back from the dead. He may sleep like the dead. Probably want to rest too. Xenia?
Sleep.
We should keep an eye on her to make sure she's okay.
Right. Yeah, and yeah, let's just go to bed. They're big kids. They'll handle themselves. Before Summer, you go up to your room and lay on the bed, processing all of the information that you've heard today. It does not take you long, with just how crying makes you kind of tired and just the emotional roller coaster that you've been on, seeing your friend die, someone you've met die, but come back to life, which you didn't know that it was possible that you could do. Hearing your god tell you how to make it happen, who to make it happen to, thoughts race in your head until you just lose yourself to sleep. Salt, you and Penguin McCool sat there for a second, finishing off the drink before you head up. By the time you get up to the room, Summer is already curled into a ball on her bed, asleep in the room. Gonna cut to Xenia and Team for a minute. Team, food, man. It's been so long. The chicken, as you, oh my gosh, oh, you can feel teeth chewing food. It's.
Have you tried this? It's delicious.
I mean, we can try. We'll trade. We'll trade afterwards.
How long have we been here? I've lost track of days. Is this day number 2?
In the city?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you tried to get a hold of Robert?
Oh, I'm not. Oh no, I may have. I'm feeling kind of weak today, and I might have used it all up trying to help you out a while ago.
Maybe we could do that in the morning. And
First thing.
Yes, and bring Summer and Salt along for it. I'm sure that would cheer up Summer.
Yeah, definitely. First thing in the morning. That'll be on the list.
But we can't tell him I'm alive? This is weird to say.
Why not?
I want it to be a surprise.
Oh no. Oh.
He'll probably punch me in the face because I'll come out of nowhere and just like wrap around him and give him a hug, and he'll think I'm attacking him. He'll probably punch me. But it'll be worth it.
Or what if we joke that we got a dragonborn to replace you?
I like this.
No, he would punch me.
It would be worth it. You
I hope he's.
You think he's had any luck finding his brother?
I mean, 1, it's the desert, but 2, he is from there, so he might have better sense than we do, but sand is sand. There's no landmarks. You know, the dunes can change shape and distance every day because of the winds. I don't know, but I'm wishing him luck, obviously.
Well, I hope he at least gathered a group to go with him. I mean, we did give him money to do so. Maybe he put up a quest, or hopefully he was just smart about it.
Hopefully. The memery, Rybo. It's rough and it gets everywhere.
I didn't say it out loud.
You know what's funny about that though, Ryan? You gave Xenia a GFY that wasn't said out loud.
Ah, dang.
And it was said in chat.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But see,
I got you, Jackie.
But you forget that I write the rules, and
Chat makes
I
the
will
rules now.
add a GFY. I have 2.
They tagged you. I see Bobo and Stronghurst.
Possum says inspiration.
I hope our other Dragonborn is doing all right. Although the wings, oh man, that'll be a trip. Wait, can you try them?
I don't know. I would assume it's very awkward, like trying to get them to move. I've never had wings before, and like it's very uncoordinated at the moment.
Again, it's like having a backpack that is far too heavy for you. You kind of lean back a little bit as you walk, but you stand up. Not only that, you have had quite a lot of wine at this point, and having not had it for a long time, your tolerance is quite low. As a protector, Asmer, you can in fact fly, and you are at the level of which to do so. At 3rd level, you can use your action to unleash a divine energy within yourself, causing your eyes to glimmer and 2 luminous incorporeal wings to sprout from your back. However, the Asmers we play, you already got the wings. They just can fly for a moment.
He's just gonna look at Xenia and says, "If I can fly, I can fly with Atta."
Team, roll me a charisma check.
Oh, that's gonna be terrible.
And I mean, how great is it that you kind of died from falling, and now you have stuff to help you from dying from falling? Again.
It's a 15 minus 1.
Okay. You stand out from under the roof of the building and kind of topple for a second. You're like, and if I can do it, I can fly with Atta for a moment. Come here. Atta, come.
Oh, no.
As Atta is like,
No.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's fly. Okay, so you're gonna take your wings, right? And when you push down, you go up. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but down means up. Down, up. Say it with me.
Down, up, down,
Down, up.
Hold
down.
on 1 second. He's going to grab the bottle of wine. Just,
Team, I don't know if you should be drinking before you do that. Okay.
it will be all right.
Right. Okay. On 3, ready?
I'm going to
1,
lift up my wings.
2.
3. As you do so, your eyes suddenly glow a bright bronze color as smoke flows out from the rest of them. As your wings begin to glow the same bronze that you are, covered in near metal, as you flap them upwards, as you suddenly fly, gaining a flying speed of 30 feet. However, this is the first time you've ever flown. This is the first time you've essentially ever
Flying's
walked.
the easy part. Landing is the hard part.
You know, and by your excitement, and after a few drinks, you're like, yes, as you you fly straight up. And straight up.
No, Icarus.
And straight up. Yeah, yes, you're just so enamored. You just keep flying up, 10 rounds worth. So probably about 300 feet near where you were when you were the rock, actually a little bit higher, before you and Atta fly up and around and twirl around each other in a bit of joy. Oh, this is so great. I am, man, look at you go. You're doing it. As you're like, look at me, I am doing it. Before your wings, after a minute, Xenia, you're like, yes, good for him. Wow, he actually can fly. Before you see his wings and the glow of his eyes begin to fade.
Oh, no.
Is this how I really die tonight?
Wait, you can only go 30 feet, right?
30 feet
Per round.
per
10
round.
rounds of 30 feet.
Oh.
While Tim is falling, Gideon glances up, panics, twists around, and there is a moment where TM hits the ground, but then time reverses, and I cast Feather Fall, and so he hits, but then it just like, and then he just lands just gently on his feet.
Gideon, you're currently in the middle of having a drink with Mabel. She's like, so tell me where you're from, before you look out the window as you see him
You just
flying
watch the Dragonborn
up.
fly up.
You rush outside and spilling Mabel's tea. You're like, yeah. You're like, is he okay? As Xenia's like, yeah, he's flying. Look at him. Before he suddenly starts
no.
falling. Before, Gideon,
no.
you see him boom, slam into the ground, neck broken. Before you think, no. You basically see a bit into the future before you cast Featherfall on him 60 feet before he hits the ground. As team, you're like, oh no, oh come on, no. Before you
I just got back.
you feel your weight suddenly lift as you what?
The last 5 feet just.
Like a piece of paper, you kind of
This is nice.
before you fall down to the ground, you're like, oh. As you look and see over to the time domain cleric holding his hand over you with eyes wide.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And out of character, thank you, Jake, because you don't understand how long chat has been wanting someone to get something with Featherfall for my dumbass. So thank
Jake
you.
is thinking now, I have almost no offensive spells. Everything I've prepared is because
Yes.
I am support boy.
Yeah.
Though I have to
This
admit,
is
what
my
a way to
favorite.
die if that was the best.
After doing that though, Gideon does the whole anytime. But just give me a moment. Sorry. And he starts walking in, and he's gonna scrawl on a note and rip it out of his book, and he's gonna go grab that last piece of pie, and he's gonna go up to Summer's room where he assumes, and he's just gonna knock and put the pie down at the door. And the note basically just says, I can't help very much, but whenever I was sad, my mom would leave me pie at my door because she wouldn't come sit with me because I needed space. So I hope you can take your space and enjoy this pie. And he comes back down. dusting himself off as if he didn't do anything. He's just like, haha, I just forgot something upstairs, guys. Don't worry.
Gideon is
Why are you
best
so
boy
goddamn
confirmed.
Wholesome.
Mark.
Gideon is wholesome
Can't
boy
cry
confirmed.
anymore tonight.
Before Gideon runs back down, as Team, you're still laying there on your back in the dirt, like, I flew.
This is the thing. Ada, Xenia, I did it.
You did. Clearly, there are limitations which we should be familiar with.
We will
you are
figure
a
those
little
out when the time comes.
drunk too. No more flying after drinking. No.
I just had a hiccup.
Oh, yeah. That's a thing.
Gods.
Oh, are you gonna get the drunk diarrheas tomorrow? Steve?
I don't know. Anything can happen now. I have bowels. This
Okay.
is the thing.
And
Yeah.
that's the emo one.
Don't forget water. Oh, water. Stay hydrated. That's a thing we meat sacks have to do.
Well, this is so wonderful. You'll have to remind me of everything I have to do that I have not had to do in the last 104 years.
Blink. That's another thing you have to remember to do too.
Blink.
You're like, oh my God, this is way better of an existence suddenly.
Yeah, your eyes are a little bloodshot from the flying. I think all the air into your eyes.
There was
Yeah.
dust. There was dust in my eye. Oh, I will never have ferrets in my skull again. Oh,
And if you do, that's a problem.
yes.
But that Gideon kid, he's interesting.
Well, I already like him. He saved my life.
Yeah.
He is good in my book.
I'm curious as to what adventures and notes he needs to take and will fill.
Well, we can always help him out. But first, I'm curious if Sophia knows where to go to get tattoos.
Oh.
I need my face to be somewhat semblance of what I was. I miss it.
There is pain associated with tattoos. Do you remember that?
I get to experience true pain again. I'm about it. Let's do it.
Okay, let's go.
As the two of you walk in, you see Gideon walking down the stairs, kind of, patting himself off. But you also see Mabel walking over, her outfit stained with tea as Gideon got up so quickly again. It kind of spilled on her. She's kind of like, I think I shall go home for the night. Have a rest. Just come by tomorrow, and I can see about your friend's eggs, and we'll go from there.
Sounds brilliant. We could all use a nap as well.
Agreed. Thank you for the food. Thank you for the rescuing, though.
Sorry about the rock.
Yeah, there's foul magics at play up there right now. I want to investigate further into that
Well,
at some point.
we could help you in the future.
Please, I would consider it not required, but I would be very grateful since I truly thought I could have helped the Roc. If you wouldn't mind lending me your aid there, that would be much appreciated. I did spend phoenix feathers on you, after all.
Yes, I'm in your debt.
As I yours, as you did use it on me after I fell. So thank you to you and your lady ratfolk fellow.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you have a lot of responsibility. You have a lot of living creatures that you need to look after. So
I should go see them soon. Thank you very much. As she kind of puts her
please
hands on
do
your shoulders.
Give Gorf or your anxiety cat. Give him lots of pats.
Oh, absolutely. Did you meet him?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
You might want to.
I thought he may have just been in his cage. But if you met him, that's great. He's a good guy.
Well, yep. Okay. We will see you soon.
Great. Thank you. As she goes over, and she's one of those people that talks like a few inches from your face. right? That you're just like, hey, hey, how's it going? But she like gets closer as she talks. She like Xenia, she gets up and like grasps you by the shoulder. She's like, thank you very much. As Gideon, she comes over to you. She kind of like grasps you by the cheek. She's like, thank you as well for the food. I hadn't eaten anything besides, well, I don't even want to say. Thank you so much.
Anytime. It is my pleasure.
Please come by sometime, and I'll treat you to something nice in return. But away I shall. She points to her clothing weapon. Go and change.
I mean, I'm sorry. I was eavesdropping. I just have very passive perception. I noticed you mentioned phoenix feathers. I don't necessarily want one, but if you have an image of one or the medical description, I would be forever in your debt. I've never seen one, but I've heard much about them.
I do have one remaining that I use to keep an egg warm. If you'd like, I could show it to you.
I would love that.
Well, please, I could show you now, as I'm going to have to tend to the egg briefly.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my! And he goes and starts like collecting his stuff, like in this awkward, meticulous, like everything has its place on his person. And now it's kind of evident where he puts, like you mentioned, the spoons and the utensils. There's stitching on his shirt, as he has like everything is perfectly organized on him, and he's just like, okay, I got my spoons, I got my holy symbol, I've got my tools, I've got my pocket watch. Okay. And then he scoots on after because he's very excited.
Gideon, before you go, come back and see us tomorrow. We are probably going to bed.
I look at Xenia again and he goes, "Is this a leg pull? Is it?"
No, not anymore. No.
You want me to come back? You want to hang out with me?
Yes, you saved
yeah.
my friend's life, and you're a very curious mind, which we appreciate.
He starts grabbing at his pants and shuffling, and he goes,
I'll be back tomorrow, thank you.
and he turns around and he's bawling his eyes out.
As
Team looks back at Xenia and says, not only that, I think that's the first person that ever got Salt to shut up.
That is true. That's a superpower not many people have.
This is true.
as Tehm and Xenia, you go to retire after though short, feels like a long day. Tehm, you grab another bottle of wine to head up to the room, as we'll pause there for a moment. As Mabel's holding the door open for you, Gideon, as you begin crying as you walk in. She's like, "Oh, are you okay?"
And I think they were looking at me like I was cool. They said, "Whoa, he did the magic!" And then there was the little one, and they were so excited about my whole plan.
And he starts ripping up his little dossier thing about like the speech that he gives everybody on his way. And he's like,
I can go completely off. They want to see me tomorrow, and if they prank me, I'm going to be emotionally destroyed. But they really want to see me.
Well, it's quite good for you. I hope one day to experience what you experience. As she begins walking towards her menagerie and says, "Come, I will show you the feathers. It's a good day for you, and so glad that you found some friends, young man."
"Well, I don't even know. And he looks at the little piece of paper where it's like the last spot on his list, and he like looks at it, like winces, and then flips back a couple pages where the red Wagon Inn was earlier and noticed he erased it, and he goes, "Why was that my last stop? Must have thought something earlier." Anyway, and he closes the book and puts it away.
As you shuffle to keep up with her, as you're like, "So where's your place? Where are we going?" She reaches into her pocket and hands you like a handkerchief to like dab your eyes and stuff. Do you have one? Yeah, tissue as you dab your eyes. Well, I will show you the feathers, and then you can take your sketch, and then they're planning on coming back tomorrow, and if you're meeting with them, you can come with them.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Fantastic.
And yeah, when he walks in, he just instantly does the whole You told me there was a feather, but you did not tell me there was an absolute beautiful menagerie of baby boys. And he goes around and he's sketching everything before going to the feather. And he just starts filling in like other drawings of animals he had. And he's going like thing to thing, even plain frogs. Like he is just like categorizing, and he is having a whole time of his life right now.
She's as soon as she opens the door, yeah, that's the first thing. Baby boys, as you run in and you just start sketching, and she's like, yes, we have the best boys, the best girls, the best everything. We just have wonderful creatures here. They're all my bestest friends. And as she's like walking around the counter, and she's like, let me show you to your egg. I thought they said, Gorf, Gorf.
Oh, no.
What? Excuse me, Gorf. As you look around, you hear it before she does. You hear something kind of moan in response to what she's saying. There's lots of noise from all these animals that wake up as you're so excited to see them. You've never heard of a gorf before? So as she says this does intrigue you. As you look over, as you hear the moan, as you walk up to the front, and you're like, is this a gorf? As she runs over and says, what have you done? Why are you in? What are you? As you see, big, fat, giant Cheshire cat, but orange skin Garfield with a huge grin, but just drool all across him as he lays his back into a pile of catnip. He smiles at her with catnip all covered across his teeth. She says, "Oh no, 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 my oh no, that bag was supposed to last you your whole lifetime." It's oh no, how did you? They must have not. Oh no. As you're like, what is? It's grass. As she tries to pick him up, as he's kind of, he stands nearly 4 feet tall. This giant cat thing with a huge puffy tail. As she says, "Gorf, my friend, are you hurt? Are you doing okay?" As he looks back and looks at her. As he seems to be making incoherent rumbles. The rat gave you the. You're just hearing rumbles, but she's like holding him on the shoulders right up to his face, just as she was. Yeah, they gave you the whole bat. Did they read the book? They read the book too. Oh, my friend, I must. You have to go on you need to go on a detox right away. Excuse me.
I can help with detox. And he goes up and he goes, "I'm sorry, you're a beautiful cat, and I'm just going to." And he goes behind and he traces a line down his back, and as these separate veins, basically the form of Dwarf starts tracing in this. Now it's a pink light, and I use lesser restoration, and I'm gonna think poison.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give poison a try and see. Yeah, I'm gonna give that a hopeful go. As you run your finger down his spine, suddenly the kind of, is more like, "Oh, what are you doing there?" kind of as the pink light, you kind of touch his back one time and just kind of place your hand on it as energy kind of pops. As you see, the catnip that's stuck to his fur just kind of falls off to the ground and falls like pine needles on a shaken tree. As he stops to see, as he turns around, his anxiety at peak returning, that you cast a spell on him that he's unaware of. As she holds him, as he runs back, as he's like, as he puts his hand up to you, not sure what you've done. As she holds him, she's like, no. I think you did something good, right? Yeah, in return, when Gorf starts going Gideon also goes, and just like hears the scream, and Gideon gets very anxious. And he goes, "Yes, I did something good. I swear." As Mabel's like, as the cacophony of three of you screaming in anxiety seems like a great place to stop for the night. As you help them out, as you will, in fact, get to go through her stuff and take a look at her phoenix feather and whatnot. But it seems like a perfect cartoon-esque Team Rocket's blasting off again kind of ending for the night, and so we shall call it there for the night as you meet Gorf, Anxiety Cat. Is based on what we've learned so far from Gideon, will get along very, very well.
He's my precious baby boy.
Ooh, what a roller coaster tonight.
I cried.
I cried hard.
Look,
Yeah.
well, okay, you did die, but you came back. Except you, Jakey, but you came back.
It wasn't the dying that made me cry, though.
Yeah.
Like I said during our break, it was
Jackie.
It was Jackie and Bree. Like
Yeah.
the two of you had me in the feels.
Y'all did so good. Oh my gosh. Wonderful. Bravo. Claps all around to the ladies for the night because that was just so good. Everybody did fantastic, but just standout performances from the middle of the screen here.
Just cry. Is that what we're learning?
That's what it is. Just try, and everybody. That's how you get your standout performances. Also, Rybo wife I saw in chat said, "I hear the screams before I hear them on stream, as she can hear me from downstairs. I guess." Oh gosh, right. That was absolutely fun. Make sure as we finish up for the night, if you haven't done so yet, you enter for the Dark Matter set from Dicebound, which is just gorgeous. I'm gonna post some more pictures of the full thing tomorrow on Instagram because I gotta say I got some good ass pictures of that. So I'm kind of not toot my own horn, but toot. You know what I'm saying? But a huge thank you and welcome to our new cast member, Jakey. Woo!
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So happy to have you,
I was very excited when I was asked, and this session was unreal. Y'all are incredible. From like the reveal of like the tail with Pepper and like the resurrection, everything. I was floored by all of you as players, and it was a joy to listen to. Almost like you guys should like live stream this or something, like an audio medium or something. I don't know if that's feasible, but it was just boom.
I know a guy we can talk to.
Yeah, he has like over 100K subs on YouTube, 120 more than that.
I was thinking you meant Alex.
And then on that, I know another guy who's got this like huge like Twitch channel that we could probably do it on. He seems like a really cool dude.
Yeah.
You know Mercer, huh?
It's your turn. Your turn.
Oh my god.
Yes.
And I was also very, very excited to have Salt's tail thing come out, as we have been talking about that privately for a long, long time. And so very, very excited. Very excited to see what Gideon has done, as Jakey and I have already, just today alone. It's going to be a good time with Gideon here.
If I can just like pull the curtain back a bit, a lot of character choices were made on the spot tonight for Gideon. I had a rough frame today talking the time domain cleric. Ryan went over it, and it is unreal. It is so cool, and I'm so excited to give it a try. So
You're
I
revealing the
I
magic.
can tell you. Yeah.
I know I gotta pull the thing back because I'm just like, oh, thanks for having me. This was a cool session to be a
I
part
can
of.
tell you, Chad already loves you. So
Oh, thank
I think we
you
were
so
gonna.
much. Oh my god,
Yeah.
someone actually likes me.
Very Gideon. I will
you back.
post the time domain cleric because I've shown that one before. There's a few that I'm keeping like, oh, we want to reveal when the book comes out. But I will post the time domain cleric because we made that with chat already. That I will post that in the Red Wagon Inn Discord tomorrow. So if you're not in the Red Wagon Inn Discord, that's a good motivator. Come check it out so you can see what kind of stuff Gideon's going to be doing. So it's going to be fun time. Right.
What a cost.
Yay.
With that, we got some dice to give away, so make sure you do your exclamation point LUDs because it's right about the end of time. We will give some dice away, and you will all have a fantastic week, and we will see you again next week. So, let's
Here we
make it
go.
happen.
Wrapping it up. And Slaying Cane.
Slain Kane. Congratulations, Slain Kane. Woo! I don't know if I've seen that name before, so congrats to them.
yeah, I think that's a new follower.
Awesome. Well, if you haven't done so yet, make sure when Bree messages you for your actual information, reply so that I can get them to you sooner rather than later. And we'll get them out as soon as possible. So, awesome. Thank you, everybody. This was a fantastic week and just a good time. I'm sorry I had to drop the Rocs on you. Rocs fall, you die is, I don't know if anybody was prepared for that, but Rocs fall, you die. And it definitely happened. So, I had a fun time.
I'll tell you, made one hell of a story.
Yeah.
Definitely. Salt is going to tell that one for ages. Good night, everybody. Have a great one.
14 elephant.
Wine team.